Welcome back, everyone. I'm Jeff,
I'm Silas.
and you're listening to Death Metal
Bididoo.
Daddies.
Sorry.
Care
Mm-hmm. Ow.
attacking you?
Sorry. Yeah, fucking just starts out fucking bite me. She's feral. She was born feral, and then she was like kind of domesticated, so she's still like got those killer instincts.
Hmm.
I could tell
That
like she
hunting
just
stuff?
eyeballs me sometimes. Oh yeah. Like if she was big enough, she would have killed me by now.
Hmm.
But I think sometimes like she's play biting, but then sometimes it like feels like an intentional like I fucking want to kill you bite. I'm like, oh fuck. Like she doesn't draw blood, but I mean, dude, I'm definitely surprised at times.
I
So,
gotcha.
anyways, how has your week been?
Oh, pretty good. Finally finished building the new duck coop. Uh, I thought the
Nice.
hardest part would be making like the base and all that, like the last time we
Hmm.
recorded. No, I realized putting the actual because it's the chicken wire all around it. I didn't realize how much of a bitch that was. That sucked.
Oh
But
yeah.
I mean, it's all built now. Ducks are in it. They love it. They have the pool in there. They can walk around, kind of do whatever they want, swim whenever they want, drink whenever they want. So they're
Oh
kind of
yeah.
lower maintenance now. I just have to make sure that their pool gets super dirty, so I had to dump it out today and refill it. But yeah, got food, water. They're loving it.
Nice.
Kids can go in there and
Yeah, I
play with them.
definitely. Yeah, that is cool. I would definitely try to look into like a natural pond that's like self-maintaining. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, we have some on the land. It's just I worry because it's like I can see it's like down the
Oh.
hill, but I worry about them like running off or
Hmm.
something getting them.
Yeah, I'd probably definitely get ate up. I mean,
Yeah,
do
especially
ducks like that try to fly off, like the ones that you just buy?
I mean they'll fly, but not far. Like with the
Oh,
new
really?
one we got, the one that's kind of not as friendly. Like whenever he gets out and I try to chase him, he'll fly like a good. He'll like get like 4 or 5 feet up in the air and like fly like 10 feet, but that's as far as he'll go. He's still young.
Huh. Interesting.
That's about
So
as
will
far as
they
he'll
ever
go.
get like an inkling to like, oh, let's go with those ducks that are like flying overhead, like down south or some, or
No, from
like
what
are
I
they just gonna
understand,
up and leave one day? Or that
no,
would
from
be
what I
funny.
understand, my brother had some ducks, and apparently they, as long as you feed them, they won't leave their
Huh.
food source. So
Wow. So they just like totally are like born thinking that you're just like God. They're
pretty
just like,
much we're just
oh,
like as long as you keep giving them food for so long, they're like, all right, why would I want to go
yeah,
anywhere else? Easy food here.
right. Yeah, true. No, they got it made. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
shit, I get it.
Yeah, other than that, just worked all weekend. Had yesterday off, so did some cleaning. Other than that, nothing new. How about you?
Hell yeah. Not too bad, man. Mowed yesterday. Doing some school work, conservation genetics. So that sucks. But it's going good. Um, Other than that, nothing too crazy, man. Gearing up for deer season. Opener is the 15th, getting super pumped for that.
I got you.
Been shooting the bow a little bit, trying to get my group tighter. And got some new broadheads, so that was exciting. Got to go to Bass Pro. Went to the one in St. Louis.
Oh yeah, I've never been to that
I
one. How was that
I
one?
never Yeah, I hadn't been either. It's pretty much like kind of generic. I don't want to say generic. Like I think they're all like kind of unique because of their wildlife scenery features or whatever. It's like different in every one, but it's pretty much kind of the same thing. I mean, you get the whole walk around thing in the center. It has the elk, moose, bears on it,
Mm-hmm.
all that shit. So I mean, it is cool and interesting to look at, but I think a lot of those stores are getting to where they're just like getting dated. Like when they were first built, it was like brand new, is great. But they also in each one, like Cabela's that I've been to, like they have those open like roof design windows.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just beaming sunlight on all that taxidermy like throughout the day. And like it just fades over time. So like
Yeah.
the deer hides, they'll look like bleached, and it's just like they look more like caribou than anything else, or like their hides do at least. But it's definitely kind of weird at first. But um, I filled out a survey to hopefully get one of those $500 gift cards, and that was one of my complaints in the survey. It was like super petty, but like I'm just trying to be helpful too, you know. Like I enjoy looking at that shit. So it's, but I mean, you know, if it's good
Yeah.
taxidermy, it's good taxidermy. But this shit's like, you know, it's getting old.
Well, from what I understand, if you get like if you hunt in that area and you get something and it's a nice like carcass, they'll buy it from you and like taxidermy it. So I wonder if they just kind of like
Oh, no shit.
revolving it into where they don't care if it
But they
gets.
get to keep it, or
Yeah, they'll like buy it from you
oh,
and
okay,
put it on display there.
interesting.
So I wonder if they don't really care if it like does that. They're just waiting for someone to get another new thing so they can buy it from them, put it up.
Okay, maybe. Well, because I know they have like a lot of you know, really high scoring deer and big fucking rack bucks, just monstrous. I mean, from
Hmm.
what I've seen in the wild, like I've never seen a buck that big. And out of all the bucks there, they're so big. None of them are like medium or, you know, a 6 pointer, 8 pointer. So I mean,
Hmm.
they're all like 10 plus. There's at least going to be 10 points on a deer in there, I feel like. And so but it's just like I don't know. I mean, maybe. I've never heard of that, but that would be absolutely badass if they did that. It'd be
And
hard
I
to let
think
it go for me.
Yeah, but I think
I
it's one of those
mean,
things like
yeah.
if you're already going to do it and they're going to pay you, it's like might as well. Then you could always just go in there and your trophies. They probably would take care of all the taxidermy, so you can just if you want
Hmm,
the trophy, you just go and show it to people, and you have however much money they pay you.
true. That is true. Well, I was noticing it's actually really impressive, but they have one of the most controversial bucks in history uh there at that site, and that's the Milo Hansen buck. And at one point was considered to be the world class, like the top, the biggest deer, like in the US, or no, not sorry, not the US, but in the world. It was like the biggest whitetail at one
Really?
point, but it was controversial. Yeah, there's a lot of people challenged it, saying that it's not a real rack and this and that, and it is just insane to look at. Like it's just he's so wide, so many damn points, and he's like each time's like super tall. It's just shit like that, man. Seeing that, it's just like it's mind-boggling to me that that grows in nature because it's just
Yeah.
like why, you know, what are these things that just spike up? Is it a reaction from like radiation from the sun on these areas, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I know it sounds crazy. I'm probably sounding really weird right now, but I don't know. It piques my curiosity. And I mean, so like, you know, learn about the conservation genetics right now. It's like I read a study about deer antler growth and how they can um, gene sequence and you know modify those genes to produce bigger racks, and so that created this whole enterprise of deer farms. And so now I get these feeds on my social media of just like these clips of these ginormous rack bucks that can like barely hold their heads up. Like they just look so stupid. They really do. They look obnoxious, but they're specifically just grown for their DNA. I mean, essentially to be collected and then sold to whatever ranches or shit that wants to produce big bucks, you know, because there's game ranches that obviously will charge a price to go hunt there and like pretty damn much guarantee you a big buck. But, you know, it's just like that's just so it's not a natural form of hunting by any means to me, you know.
Yeah. I only when you say that, I only think of the King of the Hill episode when he takes Bobby hunting, and it's I think it's like a farm
Oh,
like that, and the feeders come
I
out
don't know
to
if I've seen
draw the
that one.
deers in, and he's
Oh,
like, "Oh,
really?
Bobby, we can't be doing this. This
Hmm.
isn't right."
Yeah, well, and you know, it's like uh hang on, I gotta let the cat out. Damn, I keep it. Man, she drives me crazy. Um,
Drives
but
me
it's like
crazy.
yeah. Drive me wild.
Ooh, ooh.
Um, what are you drinking tonight?
Buffalo Trace.
Ooh. pouring a drink right now?
Yeah, feeling it.
You going dry or
Yeah.
what do they call it? What do you ask for it if you
Oh,
just want
neat.
like neat? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
drinking it neat. That's neat.
Mm-hmm. Neato.
Neat. It's very weird. I wonder how that was ever established.
I don't know.
It's like, how does that, what does that relate to? Neat? Ordering a drink neat?
I just feel like it's probably like one of those old rich people things. Like I think of like clean. So if you put something else in there, it's not clean anymore, even if it is just ice or water. I think that's
Yeah.
what it would probably mean.
I wonder if like a buddy was just like, one of the guys was just like, oh, this is what, I don't know. I don't know if it's just like a one man like origination. He's just like, yeah, it's neat. I don't know. And then the other guy took that like, oh, okay, that's a neat drink. So I gotta order that like neat. I got it. And then it just like grew from there, you know what I mean?
Or maybe
Into a
I'm
whole
thinking like the nerdy ways, like, hey, what you got there? Some whiskey. Oh, did you have this, this, and this in there? No, I just have it, just whiskey. Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Neat. It's hilarious. But
so
anyways,
how would you feel about the music this week? Because I feel like, at least for me, since I love Pig Destroyer, like as soon as we already announced that we were going to do that, I got done with them in like 2 days because I love
yeah.
it, and it's like 5 albums. And
Yeah,
then
I
the
think did
playlist came out, and it was like I blazed through the playlist, so I've actually been listening to almost everything multiple times, and then I've also been getting some of the old stuff. Have you listened to any other stuff besides what we're going over this week?
no. No, man, I was that playlist was actually awesome. Yeah, didn't you send me that the Pig Destroyer playlist before the weekly playlist?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So I was all about it.
yeah. I could tell you were pretty stoked. It was fun. I loved the weekly playlist, man. Do you
Mm-hmm.
just want to get into that?
Sure, I very this is probably my favorite new release playlist we've done because I feel like just about everything was really good or at least interesting in some way.
Yeah.
Um, what was your favorite? I think I know, but oh, you're cutting out.
Fucking with my mic over here.
Oh,
Um, can you hear me now?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Is that sound normal and everything?
Yeah,
Okay. Anyways, yeah, it was Peeling Flesh, the G Code.
yeah,
Absolutely fucking badass album, dude. It is like totally, I think, my album of the year. It just
really.
based on how many, yeah, just based on how many listens I'm already in on. It's just, it's pretty ridiculous. Like it's on repeat right now, dude.
Yeah.
Still,
Uh,
still
good.
listening to it like on my way to work. Then I'll throw it on at work. And then on my way home from work, it's just, I don't know. I'm kind of starting to drift now. Like today, I really focused on the Pig Destroyer and stuff and tried to listen to some others on there. But honestly, I didn't even get to some of the releases because of Peeling Flesh. So
I
yeah,
gotcha.
dude, I absolutely loved it. What'd you think of it?
I really liked it as well. It was very short, so it seemed like the album was over like very quickly,
Mm-hmm.
especially with the songs kind of like everything is there. It's all good. You'll pass through this whole album not knowing you're already at the end. Um, some of my favorites
Too
were a
short,
lot of
man.
the singles, Shoot to Kill, Perk 3000, The Fuckening with, I'm pretty sure that's the one with Cerebral Incubation, which I was excited to see they were on it. And then
Oh yeah.
Creeping Out the Cut. And
Mm-hmm.
I do like their features on this album, like the Cerebral Incubation, like I said, but they also had Despised
What about the
Icon.
despised? Yeah.
I don't
What do
like
you think of that
Despised
one?
Icon, but I do think that was a good choice of an outside slam vocalist to be in it. Despised Icon fits the sound.
Yeah, dude. And not just one of them, but they got fucking both, which I absolutely loved. I was like, hell yeah, dude. And so like I was so thrilled because typically it's Alex Arian who gets all the feature picks, and I'm just like, scary, excuse me. Me personally, I mean, Alex Arian's a cool vocal, like it's like we mentioned before, he kind of has that attitude-ish, uh, more hardcore based vocal than the deathcore, but like the other dude, Steve Maurice, he's got that fucking sick squeal and just the low death. And so like I think they together are just a perfect balance, even on their own. I love Despise Icon. But anyways, I love their feature in this song, dude. I absolutely thought that was so sick. I think they come in at a great time and like they're doing the Despised Icon even through it. Like Alex Arian is fucking coming out first and then Steve Maurice just comes in right after. I don't know. I Yeah, it was great. Absolutely awesome. Um,
Yeah,
Oddly, my favorite track is the like as far as groove and music goes, is like the last song outro. Like it's it's just such a damn good beat, and that's actually like the video clip, the very first video clip that I like. It was the first kind of the first I don't know promo drop for this release, and I just thought it was like that, something like that, like an intro or something. So. I thought that was really badass that they made that an outro because like even the intro, the outro is so sick. It's just like there's not one thing on here that sucks. And it's just like I think there's even like an interlude where it's just kind of like that ambient hip hop and just like a dude. And I'm just like, damn, that's badass, dude.
I want to say
Great
it's
album.
like two interludes back to back, isn't it? It's like smoked
Mm.
a blunt and then something else. But yeah,
Oh yeah, the one of
they don't feel like
the
interludes.
the yeah, the dude about the cheese. I found some cheese. I was like, what the fuck is this? It's so good. It actually like made me laugh, but yeah, dude,
It's
yeah.
one of the things
I
that's kind
mean,
of fun about this band is I feel like they don't take themselves super seriously. Like even
yeah,
the intro has that sample which you think like it sounds like he's describing a crime, but it is if you actually listen to it, it's not that serious of a crime.
yeah.
Like
It's
someone gets
a
carjacked at a
McDonald's.
McDonald's,
Yeah,
no one's hurt, just a carjacking. But it's like all
yeah, dude.
sinister ambience going on, then just
Right.
brutal slams after.
It is so badass, dude. It really is because yeah, it's like you said, it's the perfect amount of not giving a fuck and absolutely slaying at it. Like they totally fucking knocked it out of the park on this album, dude. I think I'm gonna have to order the vinyl.
I do
I
want
got to
a shirt of some kind, probably of them, because
Yeah.
it's a young band. You got to give them some support, even though this I feel like this album, how good it is, kind of wipes away that live video we saw. And I wouldn't mind seeing this band. They're not too far away. They're
Yeah,
just from
I
Tulsa,
agree.
Oklahoma. I'm pretty sure.
Hmm.
So I think they would. Hopefully, they come to Missouri more often since it's like 2 hours from the Missouri border. So
Hell yeah, I know. They're about to take off on I think, fucking headlining tour, which is crazy. But it's mostly like kind of more underground slam bands that I've never really heard of. I know one of them I think is Snuffed on Sight or something like that.
mhm,
Maybe if I'm
that
remembering
sounds
right.
right.
But I can't really remember the other bands on that. But it seems like a pretty big tour, man. I mean, they're hitting a shit ton of dates. But yeah, dude, props to them. And they got the haters and shit, but they definitely got some sort of uh like train running. I mean, they're fucking, I feel like everywhere. I see them on social media every time I bring it up, but maybe that's because I'm jamming the shit out of them too. I don't know.
I have been seeing some people talking shit on the Fulci album because of how good this one was. Some
Oh,
because of
really?
how Fulci had that rap song on their metal
Oh,
album. They're like, this is how you're supposed to do rap death metal kind of stuff. And then I look at
yeah,
the comments and everyone's shitting on the new Fulci. It's like, it was actually good though.
it's crazy. Yeah, it was good. And like they're very different styles of rap even. Like the
Hmm.
Fulci album features a more kind of New York, East Coast sort of vibe than what the Peeling Flesh is going for. I feel like Peeling Flesh is more kind of like that trill, kind of like
Yeah,
Southern hip
Southern hip
hop
hop.
sort of vibes. Yeah. And so it's like, I didn't even really compare them whenever I was listening. But
Yeah.
and I don't even think that's what. to me, it doesn't look like that's what Fulci's even going for. The like
Mm-mm.
Fulci wasn't in the music with the hip hop like Peeling Flesh is. I feel like Peeling Flesh kind of they're in the hip hop with the music. I don't know if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah, it's more ingrained in their music, to where Fulci
yeah,
is
for
just we
sure.
do one
Yeah.
song with a feature of
Right.
a rap artist.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think that's kind of crazy. But
Yeah.
haters
Um.
gonna hate.
Yeah. So this was a weird playlist. So really, only three new albums. It's one, then a new EP, couple new tracks, and then two albums that came out that we missed last month. The other new album I really liked, Many Eyes. Did you listen to this one?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I did. This was actually one that I made it. Um, dude, I was actually really impressed with this, and I don't think I was impressed with the ones that I heard before this release, but
Hmm.
honestly, I think the great section in this album is kind of mid to later half. I had a
Hmm.
lot more fun in that section than I did the early side of this album. So I don't know. I felt like the poppier side of it didn't really catch me as much, but dude, like you get to that second half of the album and it's just like almost honestly like Every Time I Die
Hmm.
bangers. Like he kind of
Yeah.
gets back into that fucking Every Time I Die vibe and I was loving it. I really was. I was enjoying the hell out of it. I liked Speechless. I thought that was a badass song. Servant, Amateurs. Those it's like one after the other, dude. Yeah, I thought it was cool. What were your
Yeah.
thoughts?
So going into this, I was not. I thought I wasn't going to like this because, well, the most of the bands in Better Lovers, this one's just a singer. So I thought, all right, Better Lovers gonna have more Every Time I Die sound. But listening to this is like, okay, there's a lot of Every Time I Die in this. Like
Oh yeah.
even the lyrics, some of the breakdowns. I kind of like some of the softer parts. Surprising, like I really like Future Proof. It's very catchy, a lot poppier than anything they've done before. And Every Time I Die. Um, I do like some of their breakdown parts that they do in their heavier parts because he has that more chanty stuff that he does. There's great lyrics like I will not put dirt on an unmarked grave. You will not be punished, so
Oh
you will
yeah.
not be saved.
I
Like
remember
great
hearing
lyrics
that.
like that.
That was cool. Yeah, he's got some other like great two-liners like that, man, that I heard later in the album too. I mean, fuck, I wish I would have wrote them down because they're definitely worthy of you know, a note, but it's yeah, check out that album, dude, because it was I was definitely happy with it and um yeah, it's awesome, man. It's good to hear him kind of hit those Every Time I Die vibes again.
Hmm.
But
Although I will say this, listening to this makes me sad because I realize. So listening to it, I feel like the voice and the vocals, everything's Every Time I Die. The instruments are almost there, but not quite yet at Every Time I Die level. So it does make me realize
yeah,
like I'm still not listening to Every Time I Die, and this makes it more finality to where this band's no longer around. But I do am happy with like technically I have two bands. It's just they're split in half, and I feel like I was maybe spoiled of having them both all in the same band for so long and just taking advantage of it. So yeah, I really
yeah.
liked it. Very big surprise. That's Many Eyes Revelation. Um, the other one
Oh
that
yeah.
came out, God Dethroned the Judas Paradox. Um,
Judas Priest Paradox. No,
yeah,
the Judas Paradox.
it wasn't bad. There were some cool parts. However, with this, I have a little bit of a Rotting Christ vibe of, and not so much in like the music they're playing, but it's more of like the sound. Some I saw someone describe it. It's almost like a gray sound. Like it's
Mm,
to where it feels like this band used to be a lot heavier, but now they're kind of going more into like a comfort. This is their comfort level to where they're not really, even though this is
interesting.
the first time I've really listened to this band, I can tell that at one point it seems like they're crazier and they're just kind of more going in their more comfort zone. And
Hmm.
I don't know. What did you listen to this one? What vibe did you get from
I
this one?
I did not listen to this one. This was actually the one that I wanted to get to. Uh, um, but yeah, man, I failed. I failed to make it. I know this name. Like, when do you know about this band? Have they been around for a while? But
I want to say
I feel like I know the name, but
they toured
I
with
don't think I've
Lamb of
listened to it.
God back when we were in high school, and I wanted to go see it, but I ended up not. That's the only reason I know of
Mm,
this band.
interesting. Um, yeah, I mean, it looks like they're pretty new. Or no, no, sorry, 97. Very old. Absolutely wrong. I was just seeing like their initial popular releases.
Yeah, I want to say they're
But
kind of like a.
damn, dude, yeah, they've been around for a minute.
I want to say they're kind of like a death metal, almost like a. You took Behemoth, but sucked out all the black metal. That's kind of what this is. I feel like, but more of a more of like
Hmm.
this the Satanist or I loved you after your darkest. Not the theatric part, but more of that vibe, the kind of the gray feeling to where it doesn't feel like they're taking any risks anymore, kind of thing. But this, like I said, this is the first time I've listened to them. So, but just listening to this, I feel like even though I'm unfamiliar with it, it feels like they are doing what's comfortable to them and not really take venturing out. It sounds like a tired band, at least
Hmm.
from what I'm getting from it. Um, did you check out the two albums from last month that I put on here? That would be Teeth and Oxygen Destroyer.
So I missed Heath. Sorry
Okay.
about that. I know Sean, he sent me that one too, I'm pretty sure. Failed to make that one. But I did catch Oxygen Destroyer. Because like I was listening to Peeling Flesh so much, I was just like, fuck it, let me get deep in this playlist so I can at least hear something else. And that was the first one that like I separated myself from. But so Oxygen Destroyer, dude, this album fucking rips. This band
Mm-hmm.
rips. I was very happy with this album. I think it's so awesome, super badass. Love the vibes. Hella fast, dude. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, damn, this is like constant speed. These guys have got to be fucking exhausted playing this shit. But yeah, dude, I loved it. What do you think of it?
I really liked it. However, I'm having a hard time figuring out. So let me ask you something. Would you say this is more of a thrash or death? Because it feels like they're combining both. I can't tell with the.
Man. Yeah, I agree. I think you definitely absolutely have elements of both. But that's hard. I mean, hard to put the notes. I'd say it's definitely some sort of like extreme thrash because it's not just your typical thrash. I mean,
Mhm.
but yeah, they could definitely fit into both shows, I'd say,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. I really like this album. Name the album "Guardian of the Universe." The song that caught my attention was "Drawing Power from the Empathetic Priestess of Tranquility." This is
Mm,
a fun band. I would say kind of reminds me a little bit of like a death metal version of like Hell Ripper, to where Hell Ripper felt more
yeah,
party-ish. This felt like it's a little too fast and aggressive for it to be party, but it's still a lot of fun.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
fun band. I would like to check them out more. I got turned on. I got told about this band through there's a death metal band called VHS. They posted a meme, and this is why I'm also going to start putting some other albums we've missed. It says when it's a meme of when you and your buddies all release new music at the same time. There's a picture of a bunch of old wrestlers hanging out. It's VHS, Fulci. Then it was Oxygen Destroyer on there. It's like, well, I gotta check out this band. One of the other
Okay.
bands I'll put on next month. But yeah,
Hell yeah.
this was a fun album. Good listen to if you want to check out some. I don't know how you describe it. Super fast death metal. I don't know how to.
Yeah. Extreme thrash, fucking
Yeah,
death thrash, maybe. I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, badass album, dude. And it really made me I hated that I missed them because they were just at PDM, dude, of all
Oh,
venues.
really?
Yeah. Fucking just at PDM with I think DeGrave and Black
Ooh,
Cudgel. Not familiar with them, but and I think maybe one other on that bill, but dude, it looked fun as hell. And I haven't been to that place in so damn long. It
yeah.
sucks, but yeah, I just I need to get out more. I need to get out to more metal shows.
Uh, and up next
But
we have.
anyways, huh?
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, what'd you think of the teeth? I did not make this one, so but
I will say, Sean, you did a very good job. I heard of this release, so I was wanting to check it out, but Olson bringing up that you suggest this one, made me put it on here. It's a new Teeth album, Will of Hate. it was very good. This is so besides Peeling Flesh and Many Eyes, this is like the second most listened to one I listened to on this playlist. It is very
Okay.
good. I was a little confused at first because so I would say the sound is somewhere between like Primitive Man and Dark Sermon, to where it's like the
Oh man,
yeah, it's like if
I
Dark
missed that.
Sermon, yeah.
Like shit. Let me go listen to it real quick. That
So
sounds
imagine if
badass.
Dark Sermon put all their instruments through whatever Primitive Man uses for like pedals and like sound stuff. Like
Man.
the vocals remind me of Primitive Man, so do like the tone. It's not tuned the same, so it's not as low, but the vibe is all the same, but it has more of a Dark Sermon feel for me, music wise. But
Dark
some of
Sermon, was
the
that Rat King band?
yeah, but
Okay,
it's more
sorry.
like
I just
more of
realized
like
I forgot to
modern
turn
death
on my mic.
metal, like to where like the some of the faster Dark Sermon songs where it's more chuggy and like more of like actual like Red King was a great song, probably my favorite song. I feel like that's more doomy. There's a little bit of doominess in this one, but it's more like almost like modern death metal, but through the Primitive Man filter of some kind. That sounds very Primitive
Oh
Man-y to
yeah.
me. Favorite songs, it's kind of a back to back would be Prison, then the song Pray, then the song Shiver, kind of a three songs right in a row, kind of early middle of the album. This is a very good album, especially if you like some of the dingier modern death metal. Um, it's kind of
Oh yeah.
refreshing since there's that whole wave of old school death metal. Because when this came on, I thought it was going to be that, but it seems to be modern death metal, just kind of a little dirtier sounding. Um,
I'm loving
very,
the album art. I think this
oh
is my
yeah,
favorite album art on the playlist.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was a very good album. I recommend it to anyone who's interested in it. And even the guitar solos, I will say the guitar solos were different than all the other two bands that I mentioned, like Paranoid Man and Darkson. One of the solos reminded me specifically of a Periphery guitar
Oh,
solo.
what?
Yeah,
Really?
it's kind of a little bit all over the place, but doesn't feel scattered. Like everything
Hmm.
coalesces very well. So
Okay.
I
Kind of like
recommend this
Mark
album.
Holcomb. Or
There's
like
a
I guess that.
specific one, I can't remember what one it is though.
Huh. Okay. Interesting. I assume they probably all write solos in that band, right? Periphery.
I would
I
assume they
feel like
probably
all
got to
those
take
guitar.
turns.
I feel like all those guitarists are so phenomenal. They're all like, all right,
Hmm.
my turn. My turn. But yeah, I don't know. That it because I don't know. I just assume it's probably Mark Holcomb because he's like the black metal guy in that
Hmm.
band. Yeah.
I can see that.
But
So one that starts out like a little like two notes really slow, then kind of thing. I forget which solo it is. I want to say it's on their the Clear EP, but I can't remember which song.
mm,
But yeah, check out Teeth, Will of Hate. You won't regret it. Then we do have one EP, brand new, and that is Vile Conduct by Body Snatcher. Did you listen to this one?
oh, okay. I did listen to this one. I didn't know this was an EP,
Yeah,
but it
I
is
thought it was
six
supposed to be a
songs.
full album, but I guess it is literally just an EP they released.
So is like the EP to album ratio, is that the line? Like the
What do you
six
mean?
after six, it's an album. Before
I
seven,
think it
it's
has to
a
do with how many minutes, like the length of it.
huh. Okay, interesting.
Unless
Um,
like unless it goes over 10 tracks, I want to say. If I think about it, I think this EP is probably longer than Peeling Flesh.
hmm,
But yeah,
interesting.
did you check this one out?
Yeah, sadly, it's right after Peeling Flesh, so it just kept fucking playing and sucked. No, I'm totally just kidding. It's not terrible. I will say this is the first Body Snatcher that I've listened to that much, but I only listened to it that much because again, it's right after Peeling Flesh, so um, I just kind of let it play and I gave it a chance because I just wasn't digging it, and I gave it more chances because I just wasn't digging it. But I think that, it's like, yeah, it is heavy, and I mean, I guess, the Josta feature is kind of cool, but I wasn't just like captivated by anything in it, you know.
Hmm.
He does that hardcore attitude style vocal, and I don't really like his. Like I like other artists like we talked about like Alex Arian, and which is crazy because I feel like Alex Arian's like is almost more pronounced in a way, but I don't know. I like his voice more than this dude's, and so
Hmm.
it's just Body Snatcher just falls off for me for those reasons. Like the music's heavy as shit, but I can only do so many like chugs and breakdowns,
Yeah.
and I just feel like they are very cookie cuttery. You know, like they
Hmm.
have a style of song that they are aiming to write, and that is exactly what it is. And yeah, man. So I don't know. For those reasons, it was very much meh. What do you think of it?
I will agree on a lot of it. I do like Body Snatcher, but for me, it's more. I mostly love one. It's one album in particular I love from Body Snatcher. But I guess that's been now it's two releases ago. This one I was not really impressed. So I really loved the very first single they got released from this, which was Murder Eight, the Jamie Josta
Mm.
feature. Simply because that I felt like that kind of went back to the whole like with the line like because you can tell the whole song's about like fentanyl and stuff like that, and it almost made me think of like how the song is going, and it almost makes me think of like they're trying to do like this whole like almost like I would say mid conspiracy theory of like the rich are trying to push fentanyl to kill off all the poor people kind of thing. So
Yeah,
that
and see, like I remember hearing a lyric about like the system is it's gonna fucking kill you, you know, type shit. And I was just like, what are you talking about? Like, what, you know, I don't know. It was beyond me, but I guess that would like tie into what you're saying.
yeah, and I but that's one of the things I kind of liked about it because it's specifically there was one line that was like, okay, this is what I liked about Body Snatcher, and it was the line "fentanyl made me an only child," and it's those lyrics like that
Mm,
that where it's like it sounds like it's actually real and
mm,
towards like a trauma kind of thing. That's what I think the album was. Oh, this Hollow Void was a lot about his like trauma and stuff, and to where it's like it
okay.
cut kind of deep. So that's what I loved about this. But none of the other songs have anything like that. It's more just like you said, cookie cutter kind of stuff. Human Disdain wasn't too bad, but what even makes it kind of more annoying about this EP is that it's just an EP, and then they have the song Murder Eight, which I love, and right before they have an interlude, which kind of ties into the fentanyl things like, so we're going to have two tracks around this fentanyl, like focus on fentanyl and like the crisis of that, but not have that be the whole theme. Like, why
Mm,
do you have like an interlude about fentanyl, one song about fentanyl, but the rest is just random stuff? It's literally only six songs. You can't write a little bit more at least to a little ties to get. I don't know. Like I feel like it's just a bunch of singles they just like wrote lazily,
hmm.
but then they have
Yeah,
one
well,
serious song.
yeah, I don't know. I didn't look that too far into it. I definitely apologize if one of his parents died from fentanyl. It no, that would suck real. But you know, I don't know. I guess I didn't stick around to it to really get into it, but I heard that system bullshit and I was just like, "Oh, I've heard this before somewhere." So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. The Jamie Josta part.
Yeah, and I don't know. Not even necessarily J the Jamie Josta part. I just remember hearing like this fucking system, and I was like, "Oh my God, another system problem." You know, it's like fuck. I've heard so many systems in metal. It's like it. I don't know. Sorry, I don't want to be an asshole here, but yeah, I don't know.
I gotcha. So, what'd you think of some of the singles? We got three singles. First up, we have Disputatious Malignancy by Undeath from their upcoming album, More Insane.
Yeah, you know, I fucked up. I didn't listen to any of them. I
Oh,
missed
okay.
them all because of it, but it's Peeling Flesh's fault. So,
Undeath is back at it with another great song. I don't feel like this landed as much with their previous song. This is more of like what I would expect from Undeath, more of that old school death metal style, to where the previous song. I felt like it was more fast paced, more kind of chaotic, where this was more of like the typical meat and potatoes on Death that I come to expect. That's about all I have. I'm still excited for the new Undeath album. I think it'll be great. This one didn't get my attention as much as their previous single. The next song, though, next single, I really liked, and I hope you listen to it because I feel like this is right up your alley. Uh, Revelation by Infernal Lamentations featuring Cryptopsy.
No, I didn't, man. Damn it. Sorry. I
Ah,
missed every single. I missed it. I missed them all. And they all look so big and juicy and want to draw me in. I'm just like, man, I fucked up this week. I'm sorry, y'all.
oh,
But
this was great. This was
yeah.
a Cryptopsy feature. Mwah,
Damn.
great. It was a
Chef's kiss, huh?
yes. It was right when I needed. Nothing wrong with the new Undeath song, but some about the meat and potatoes death metal from Undeath to going straight into the Revelations song and
Hmm.
Cryptopsy doing the, you know how he do just you don't know where it's
Yeah.
going, you don't know what he's doing
Yeah.
next, just the
I love that
craziness.
unexpected. Yeah, that unexpected shit, dude. He is a fucking master of that. He throws me
Yeah,
for a loop when I listen to him. Like, whoa, what are you thinking, dude? It's
it
crazy,
was
but it works so damn well.
oh yeah, it
Anyway,
was
sorry.
a. I really like this song. Yeah, I but for me, it's really like I want to say it's the last like two-thirds of the song or last third of the song is when the Cryptopsy guy comes in and is like, oh, great. I needed that. Thank you. Thank you,
Hell yeah.
Cryptopsy.
Matt Magachi, man. That dude's a fucking genius on vocals. I love him.
Hmm.
I'm gonna have to listen to that after this podcast for sure. I
Oh,
ain't
yeah.
gonna miss that one.
I recommend it. I'm surprised you didn't bring this up, although since you didn't listen to it, that makes sense. But yeah, I feel like this is probably right up your alley if you love Cryptopsy.
Oh,
This is
fuck yeah.
this is great. Um, Then last single of the week is the new single from Opeth. I guess it's S3. It's the weird S with like a circle in the middle. I think
Yeah,
it's session 3.
I don't know what to call that symbol. What the fuck is that symbol? But it looks like this album's gonna be symbol thing and then number.
Yeah, this might be nerdy, but I feel like it's that S unknown Pokemon with the I in the middle.
Is that like its name?
But
Or wait, what'd you say?
like, remember the old Pokemon movie where it's like all the ones that was like it was these letters, but they had little eyes in the middle and they would fly around.
Fuck, I don't know if I remember that.
It was
I
in the
thought you said
movie.
like ass unknown. I don't know. Here,
No,
let me look it up. S
S1.
unknown? S or
Unknown S. Type in unknown S Pokemon maybe.
okay. Hang on.
Sorry, we're nerding out. Mailing, you're fine.
Oh, it's right there. Top Google. Unknown S Pokemon. Oh, okay. Interesting. It does. It does look like that. So unknown. Let me type in unknown S uh computer symbol, maybe. S computer symbol. Oh, Simba. No, just kidding.
Simba.
Um, I don't know, man. Maybe I should Google Opeth S symbol. Opeth symbol. Top Google. No, that's their logo. Fuck.
Is it season 3?
Opeth S symbol meaning. No. Okay. Oh, okay. Not really important. This is on Reddit. Not really important, but why did they use the section symbol if they are
Oh, is that what that
referring?
is?
Yeah, I guess section symbols, what this guy's calling it. If they are referring to the song names as paragraphs.
Ah, yeah. It's
Oh,
a section symbol. It's two S's.
okay. Interesting.
Yeah,
Hmm. I guess we're gonna have Michael Ackerfeld on the podcast to
to
explain it.
explain it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, this one wasn't bad. I liked section 1 more, but it was still good. Yeah, it's more the same, more or less the same as section 1, just not as. I don't know. I feel like maybe it was because section 1 had like, oh, screams are back, but now by section 3,
Hmm.
it's like it feels almost the exact same to me. I don't know. I did
Really?
only listen to it
Is
once.
it is it screams or
I want to say there was screams. I can't remember, but I want to say yes. It almost felt exactly like S. What was it, S Section One,
yeah,
except it was less memorable, and I feel like there was less screams.
interesting. Well, that's like for Opeth, I'm not really going to gauge them by the amount of screams, honestly. Like they're a
Yeah,
band like they can like there was that what's that one album where they do like the da 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 or
is it the one with the peacock?
no, that's Sorceress. Um, hang on. It's like a pyramid, maybe something. Pyramid, getting a P in the title.
Oh, per
It's like
extra.
Perdition.
Oh,
Is that what I'm thinking of? Not Ghost of Perdition, is it? Maybe it is.
Pale Communion, Heritage.
Yeah, Ghost of Perdition.
Oh,
Ah,
oh no, I wouldn't even say it's as catchy as. Although
ah, yeah,
I
yeah.
would say a less catchy
Da,
version.
da, da. Okay. But I guess what I was getting at is I think of that song as more of a hit. That song specifically, Ghost of Perdition, as more of a hit for the cleans than I do the screams that are in it. Is there screams in that one?
I feel like there was because that's their
Ghost.
older stuff,
Yeah,
isn't
there
it?
is. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean that's how he starts it out. Ghost of Perdition. Apparently you can't really hear that on the podcast. I've listened back and like my vocals are missing. But like sometimes they come in, so I don't know. I need to get a better
Yeah, I
mic
always
setup,
have
I
a hard
guess.
time hearing it. I always feel like you're trying to cut it back so you don't wake people up or something. 'Cause that's what it sounds
Yeah, I
like.
mean, maybe. Yeah, I obviously am not doing like full volume screams in here.
I think it's because your
But
microphone's so close to your face and you can't move
oh
from it.
yeah, could be. I might be like maxing it out, I'm guessing.
Or either
So
maxing it out or maybe even if you're projecting, maybe going over it.
yeah, it's like not catching it. Yeah,
Hmm.
that makes sense. But anyway, sorry, I sidetracked from what we were getting at. But I guess we sum it up to you're saying symbols symbol section 3 is not as good as symbol section 1.
It's not, it's still good because I mean, we have new Opus, but at the same time, it's still, if you're still riding off the high of section one, just stick with section one, unless you just want to hear
Hmm,
some new Opus, but then you're just going to go back to section one regardless. It's
okay,
just how I felt about it.
fair
You
enough.
can form, anyone can form their own opinion. If you want to go check Opus, go check out the new Opus. It's not
Yeah,
bad. I'm not saying it's bad. Just, I kind of
you
preferred
know,
section one.
epic fail on me. My bad. So anyways, you were saying new Opeth is shit, not worth a gander at all.
Yeah. Are they even metal? What are we doing here?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
uh,
that's it for the new playlist.
yeah.
I did check out some of the old albums from our previous playlists. Getting back into Vomit the Soul. I think that's probably gonna
Ooh,
start climbing up my end of the year playlist.
really?
Mhm.
Okay.
It's I've been going back to that a lot more. Same with so I checked out that again, Brodekin, um,
Ooh,
Severe Torture. Um, I still I still cannot get into the new Ulcerate. I don't
really?
know what it is. Um,
Damn, just not there, huh?
no, I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't mind post metal, and I feel like this is someone described it the best way, and I feel like it's post technical death metal. I feel
Yeah,
like,
I definitely
and
agree with that. They're a more kind of atmospheric job for a cowboy, but that's like kind of where they drew me in because they have those kind of like job for a cowboy moments where they just kind of like let those instruments ring and
mhm,
they play these notes that just kind of like ring out throughout their tracks, and that's where they kind of drew me in. But
yeah. I don't know. For me, it's still just not clicking because I feel like there's something supposed to be like super epic and conceptual going on, but it's still not clicking for me yet. So I don't know. Maybe I actually need to sit down with the lyrics and try to figure out this puzzle that is that everyone else is getting, but I'm not. It's like everyone else has the finished Rubik's Cube, and I'm still sitting there with all these different colors.
Hmm. Fair enough. I mean, honestly, it's like it didn't like peak, I think, top album charts for me out of what I've listened to this year. But yeah, I still liked it. I thought it was a cool listen, but uh, it's been a minute since I've gone back to that one. I kind of did the same thing though. I did revisit some albums from previous playlists. Had to run back to Nails. That is just some great pump music, dude. It really
Mhm.
is. Like it's just it's just an adrenaline rush. I love it. Checked that out. What else did I listen to? I felt like I listened to another one. Let me look on my search real quick. Um, oh, Acacia Strain, JFC.
Ooh,
Ah, man,
ooh.
Continent, dude. It's just that's such a badass fun album.
Mhm.
So damn groovy. It's just like, oh, I love that. I would love another Continent reunion tour because that show was absolutely badass.
I feel like if they did any kind of anniversary tour now, it would just be great because they're in
Yeah,
that. If they did an anniversary tour, they're in that golden era of like, oh, these are all going to be just great albums. Like
yeah.
they could do Wormwood, they could do preferably not Death is the Only Immortal, um, Coma Witch. I mean, or
Oh yeah.
if they did Slow Decay.
Oh man, that would be killer too. Damn, yeah, dude. They got options, that's for sure.
Mhm.
But
Oh,
oh yeah, yeah. Let's see. Did that? Yeah. I mean, that's about it on the revisits.
I did notice something. I think I might be off by a day on one, but I'm pretty sure we have a choice to make. So October 30th is kind of a big day. We can go
Mm,
to a concert if we want to.
okay.
However, we're gonna have to make a choice because
Okay.
there's three going on the same day
Oh shit.
in our area.
Okay.
So up first is Knocked Loose in Wichita, which isn't. I want to say it's like 3 hours, maybe. It's not super far, but I think that's the farthest. It's I don't think they're with anyone interesting like Military Gun and want to say Drain. Although Danny Brown, the rapper, has hopped on some dates, just not on that date, which I think is interesting. Danny Brown would be cool to see.
Interesting. Yeah, that would be. That dude is
Um,
pretty sweet.
then in Springfield, we have Carnifex with Cryptopsy in
Oh,
Springfield.
damn. I think they just hit St. Louis not too long ago, didn't they?
Hmm.
Is this on the
Yeah.
same tour?
No, I think that was just Cryptopsy in St. Louis. And this upcoming
Oh,
tour, they're going on with Carnifex, and they'll be in Springfield.
okay. Damn, that would be
And
tight.
then in St. Louis is going to be 200 stab wounds with nails.
Wow, what a dilemma.
Yeah. So I feel like the
That's
two
tough.
stronger is either going to be choose Cryptopsy or nails.
Yeah, I kind of think I'm right there with you.
And I feel like nails
Um,
is going to be edging out Cryptopsy.
yeah, I definitely think Knock Loose is going to be more of a not necessarily theatrical, but I mean, dude, that band's got like gotten so big so quick. It's definitely going to be like not as intimate of a show. So I definitely probably prefer to go to the more intimate options. Um,
Yeah. But with Knocked Loose, I've been watching some footage of their previous tour. Like it's on the same album cycle. That's what this is. They're just adding a different leg to it. They have put a lot of like stage stuff. So like you know how like the
hmm,
cover is just like some woman in the woods looking at this giant glowing cross.
Ross, yeah.
For their stage production, they made pretty much made the entire background like it's actually like 3D, but like a backwoods, like swampy woods. Like they have fake trees and like moss and
Ah,
stuff, and then they have the giant glowing cross. Like it looks
yeah.
so cool, and I want to say last year like they sold out like every show. So it's one of
Holy
those things
shit.
like if I want to see this, I would need to see this now. But at the
Yeah,
same time, it's nails and or
true.
cryptopsy.
Um, damn, yeah, dude, that's got to be a tough choice. I don't even know if I could pick right now. There's another show that I wanted to shout out that I was brought to aware of. Whitechapel, Kubla Khan, Sanguishugabog, and uh, there's another one on there.
Lauren
Who's the
Short.
other one? Might be.
Yeah, that's that one tour. They're going to Kansas City September 30th.
Okay. Okay. So that's even sooner. Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
the St. Louis show is sold out, and I'm debating on going to that one. It's on a Monday though.
Okay. Yeah, see, I don't know, dude. Fuck, Monday would suck.
Yeah, and I'm going coming home from Colorado that day. So it's one of those
Oh,
things I'm
shit, really?
debating if. But it's one of those
Oh,
like
dude.
my brother really wants to see Lorna Shore, and my
Uh-huh.
daughter she knows about it. She wants to see Lorna Shore, so it's like. 'Cause I already told my brother he might go just by himself. But it's one of those things like I don't want him to go by himself, but also my daughter wants to go see this as well. So do we? Because
Yeah.
one of the things we're leaving Colorado the day before, but we're going to turn it into like a 2 day trip back, or I could suck it up and drive all the way from Denver, Colorado to Crane, Missouri in one day just to go see.
Yeah, that would be insane. What are you vacating out there? Or?
No, Danny's doing a wedding photo shoot
Oh,
out there, so we're all
okay.
just going out there with her.
Nice. Fuck, 2-day trip?
Well, it's a 5 day trip. That's whether or
Oh,
not to
okay.
turn the drive home into a 2 day trip.
No. Dude, you're gonna be so tired of that drive, I feel like,
Yeah, especially
if
through
you did
Kansas.
that.
Driving through
Oh man.
Kansas sucks.
And then you're going to a show. Yeah, Kansas is, I gotta say, that's the fucking absolute worst drive.
Hmm.
Statewide, that shit sucks. You ain't got nothing but windmills and gas stations.
Yeah, it's like driving I-70 from St. Louis to Kansas City, just nothing for
Yeah.
hours, just straight.
I seen pronghorn off the side of the highway, and that was the coolest shit that I had ever seen on that drive. But yeah.
But at the same time, it's Sangui Kublai Khan,
Oh,
Whitechapel,
yeah,
and Lawrence
that's
Shore.
huge.
And Lawrence
That
Shore
is
is
a
playing
huge
Pain
show.
Remains all the way through their
Oh,
newest
wow.
album.
Okay. I don't really care about that band still. I have not caught on to that wave. But I honestly at this point I want to see them for hype value, hype
Hmm.
the hype factor. Like they got so much fucking such a big fan base. Like it's got to be entertaining live, I would assume, man.
Hmm.
Or
I
it
would,
could make me a fan going to see it live. So
it was a lot better than when we saw him with CJ, I will say. It seemed like everyone was happier, and it seemed like the band was, it seemed like an actual better well, they were the openers and it was midday, so it wasn't like there was no lights or anything, so it was just them playing. But it sounded better. It sounded more energetic. They were more energetic, more interacting with the crowd. To where CJ was just like, "Here's a song. Here's a song."
yeah. Oh,
It
they
seemed
look
like they didn't
so
want to be
bored,
there.
dude, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they literally Um, sorry to get right back on the sweatpant thing, but they were fucking all donning gym shorts and sweatpants, and I was just like, "Ugh, wow, I'm gonna fucking watch this, I guess, from far back and at the bar, probably just drink beer." That's exactly what I did. I will say it was cool to see like CJ live, hear his vocals live. Like, he hit him good, but I guess that run was short lived. But anyways, I want to see him now for hype factor. Um, Maybe I become a fan. But yeah, I don't know. That would be a killer show. But fuck, the Monday thing sucks.
Yeah. Because no matter what, you're probably going to get off work early, and depending on whether or not you're okay with going in super tired to work the next day.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Damn.
But I want to say it's at the Midland,
Mm.
and so I noticed someone brought it up. The reason the Kansas City show isn't sold up at St. Louis is Kansas City was the only date that wasn't through Ticketmaster. It's through
Oh,
AXS. So tickets are all
oh,
literally only like $39.
oh, wow.
So I think
Damn,
it.
yeah, cheap price too.
So it's not the Ticketmaster trying to like Because I'm always wondering if that's what's happening. Is Ticketmaster purposely holding back tickets and like doing the scalping thing, almost thing, since they're pretty much like choke holding the marketing?
I don't know, man, because it's like, I've noticed not even with Ticketmaster, like I've noticed like off StubHub, which like so I guess StubHub's not like the same company as Ticketmaster, right? Is StubHub more of just like a website where you can find those tickets? But I've noticed fucking price gouging through all of them. E-tix, it almost like doesn't even matter what the vendor is anymore. They're
Hmm.
all fucking just outrageous, it seems like. So I don't know. I don't know how the scalping industry is totally, or that whole thing's working technically, but it just looks to me like it sucks all over. So that is cool to find that crazy of a lineup at $39, I will say.
Hmm. Yeah, and I want to
Is
say it's at the
damn good.
Midland.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I mean, even Kubla Khan, they're running a headline tour right now and they're selling this shit out like quick
Hmm.
because like this
Yeah,
hype on this new album's huge.
yeah, I'm excited for it. Like I wasn't for
Yeah.
the other singles, but something about Supreme Ruler just gets me excited.
Yeah. Like that's I don't know. Is there other singles that they've released that are going to be on it?
I think Theory of Mine will probably be on it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's the only
That one is
other one
good.
I can remember, but I didn't really
Yeah.
care too much for it. That's one I want to say he says like monkey see, monkey do, so who the fuck made you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree. That line was kind of a turn off to me.
Hmm.
I get what he's saying, like the meaning behind it's cool, but ah, monkey see, monkey do is a hard lyric to pull off in metal, even if you are Kubla Khan, I think. But I don't know.
Yeah, and I feel like Supreme Ruler, not a lot of lyrics, but they're all pretty
Oh,
badass.
chef's kiss, dude. That whole minute is fucking phenomenal. Love it.
Yeah. 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 That's some tours. That's all the new music for the playlist. Or
Did
so
we
yeah.
did we ever throw Supreme Ruler? Was that on a playlist?
I think it was. That was on I think 2 weeks ago because I remember that was on like the
Okay.
beginning. I played it a lot. Yeah, it led into
Yeah.
Mammoth Hand.
Oh, okay. That's right. Okay. True. Yeah, I've listened to it a shit ton since then.
Oh yeah. It's it's a bomb even though it's only like a minute long.
Well, apparently this album's gonna have Ant Pile 2 on it also.
I
Yeah.
do love that song. Just the squeals
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. It's a great one. So
Yeah.
excited for that as well.
Yeah. But you know what? We've been talking a lot about some death metal stuff. But you know what? There's another aspect of our life maybe we should talk about. Maybe we should talk about
Oh,
some
what is that?
dad stuff.
Oh.
Yeah. I've kind of liked it when you have been bringing your questions. Do you have any, or would you like me to pitch a
Hmm.
question?
Huh? Let me see here. Let me see. Not necessarily dad focused, but I feel like it has to do a lot with fatherhood because once you have a kid, you then develop more laundry. So who does the laundry in your house?
That would be me. And that's
Ooh,
solely
okay.
because I'm very particular when it comes to it. And it's just because
Oh,
I feel like out
you
of
gotta have Tide
everyone,
or
well, no,
Gain?
it's no, it's more of like because I have a uniform, I have to have like certain things like not necessarily done a certain way, but I have to at least make sure that they are. I have a clean one ready, kind of thing.
Okay.
I don't want to have to wake up and
You have to do
look
the
over and
ironing shit.
no, I don't have to iron anything. I just have to make sure that like I have a green shirt underneath and that stuff like that. But yeah, um, it's mostly me, but she sometimes does it. It's but I think there is sometimes some headbutting, especially when it comes to Theo stuff, the baby. Because I
Okay.
have my way of like this is how I organize. I think that's the issue is where how I think things are organized is different from how she thinks it's organized. So when I put stuff, it makes sense to me, but then when she tries to find it, she's like, "Where is it?" It's like you don't understand. It's right here because it makes sense. Like I don't know. That's how my mind works, but
Mm.
I don't really communicate that too well. So I understand that frustration, but it makes sense to me. What about you?
No, I am a little bitch when it comes to laundry. I won't even really participate in washing, folding, and then I even get pissed off when I go look in a drawer and I don't find boxers ready for me.
Where the fuck they at?
I honestly, I'm really bad about that. I need to get better about that because, Lex, she's a champ. She's fucking nailing that shit, um, and doing a lot of it. And so I try to help when I can, but honestly, I'm not involved in a lot of the in-house duties as much as I am like yard keep up and shit like that. And it's not intentional, like if I ain't got shit going on, I don't have a discussion to do, assignment, whatever. Um, I try to unload dishwasher, take out trash, whatever, clean up something, but it's almost always laundry will be my last like pick up how in-house go to. And it's like I'm pretty sure Lex is doing like a load every night. So I I didn't really mean to make myself sound like a piece of shit here, but I guess I don't even know why I asked that question. But anyways, no, props to you though, man. I am impressed, I will say. I was hoping you were gonna be like, yeah, no, I don't do it either. No, it's like, yeah, right.
Well, for me, it's also a little bit of like so my weight fluctuates a lot, and also so like there's some shirts that fit better most of the time. Then there's some like when it's on the lower end, everything fits. Then there's also obviously shirts that I love more. Is like I want it clean. Like I have new Cannibal Corpse t-shirts, and then my favorite shirt is my Motorhead shirt. Uh, I don't know. There's
You
just
have
certain
like
shirts I
pants.
have. What's that?
Sorry. You just said you brought up your weight fluctuations, so I just imagine you like full like getting pants and like just to fold, and you have like size 36, and then you got like size 44s. You're just like, I don't need these right now. But no, I obviously it was just a stupid thought that ran through my mind. I obviously know
No, it's not.
it's
It's
not
not
like
that extreme.
like that, but
No, it's not that extreme, but it is like when it comes, it's more for shirts. Pants, not so much. It's more for shirts because some of them I don't know if they shrink, but like sometimes they ride up a little bit, and I get a little
yeah.
weird because I don't like if
Oh
I
yeah.
lean certain way, my belly shows like stuff that, or just
Oh
skin
yeah.
in general shows like I don't like it. Yeah,
You
I
lift
don't
your
like it.
lift your arms. It's the lift arm rule for me. If I can lift my arms like this, hands above my head, and the shirt does not rise, it's good to go. But if that shirt rises and it shows any skin, can't do it. Can't
Yeah, but
can't
then I had to
wear the
get
shirt.
rid of certain shirts, and I don't like that because like I don't know when I
Like,
don't want to buy another one of I don't want to buy another Napalm Death shirt. I don't want to buy another. What else do I got? Hate Eternal shirt. Like
yeah,
those are.
I gotta say, like a band specifically, all their shit is too small for me every time I buy it. And I love this band and I love their merch. I think they have the best merch. It's the Acacia strain.
Mhm.
But literally every fucking single piece of merch that I've bought off there, I've bought in a hat, I've bought in a shirt, I've bought in uh, well, is that it? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that is it. I don't know. Maybe it's just a hat and a shirt, but both too small. And so I'm just like, fuck, man, come on. Can't you make a fucking size that's like big enough? And it's just
Maybe
like
it's.
I don't want to get XL. I've gotten XL before in other band shirts and they're like saggy. They're like baggy on me.
Mhm.
And so it's like I'm right in that sweet spot where I need like in between like a large and an XL where like XL's big enough, but like I need like longer. I need longer of a large, really.
Mhm. Like a
And
large
so like
tall.
I feel like a lot of larges they just run too short. It's like the
Mhm.
height thing for me, I guess. But I
Yeah.
don't know.
I don't
The
know. I
hat
have.
like looks so stupid and dopey. Like I was so excited about it because it comes in waves, and it was like the glow in the dark logo and shit. Super pumped, but like then it only fits around like the top portion of my head, and so it literally looks like I'm fucking wearing a kid's hat. I'm like, dude, come on, I look like a joke right now. It's so stupid. And like I got that badass long sleeve, but they like come up like a quarter of my forearms, and so Like, yeah, I'm like, dude, that's way too short. So I'm probably gonna just cut the sleeves off, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. I've never bought a merch off their website. I've only bought like the records and stuff. But I have two shirts I got from them on tour, and those are probably my oldest shirts. I don't know. Maybe they have different shirts of when they're on tour than when they're what they sell on the site. Because I still have
Maybe.
my Coma Witch period shirt, and that's probably like my most one of my. Actually, I think that is my oldest shirt besides my Every Time I Die shirt. Yeah, that's
Hmm.
another question. At what point do you retire a shirt?
Shit, I don't know, dude. Like I've got years old shirts. I've gotten shirts that I've gotten rid of, but it's almost for that too small factor. Like I remember having that old school, I think it was one of the most like purchased metal shirts out there, but it was the Job for a Cowboy, had the ram skull with like the fucking like shit crawling out of the skull and kind of like green and
Oh, was it the like there's like a heart in the middle and like a rib cage kind of thing, like the tattoo
yeah,
one?
yeah, maybe. It was a very, very common Job for a Cowboy shirt, but it was so sick. Like I loved it. I fucking loved that shirt so much. And it got too small. I was so disappointed, man. And so had to get rid of that one. I've had to get rid of some really badass shirts. And I hate that because like I really grew fond of those. But I've still got some old ones that I've kept around that just was I've kept around because the fit was good. So I'm pretty picky about that shit. But
Yeah.
I don't know how old. What's your oldest band shirt?
I would say so. My oldest one, I rarely wear it because there's like some bleach stains on it, but that would probably be the my Every Time I Die shirt from when I was like 16.
Oh
That was like
wow.
my first like underground concert. It was Mailing in the Sun's Disaster, Poison the Well, Every Time I Die, and Under Oath up in Omaha. And I love the shirt, although I remember wearing it in high school. So here, I'll show you just a second.
Okay. Just gonna get the shirt. He's taking his shirt off right now. Oh, and his pants. Okay. Interesting. That's a bold move, Jeff. Wow. Wow.
All right.
It's a lot different than what I expected.
So now the times have changed. Think people this is a little bit more of a sensitive thing. I feel like this looks a little bit like something because I got asked about it all the time when I worked at school.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, it looks like a bold choice.
Yes,
It looks like we got almost a Nazi eagle
yes,
donned
it
by the
almost
every. It's kind of close to that.
yeah,
It's not it, but it's
it's almost
kind of
Iron
close.
Eagle-ish.
Yeah, yeah, definitely kind of looks close to that, but
But it's still a cool
it's cool.
shirt. It has the eye and then the logo. Yeah, that's probably my oldest. Yeah, some bleach stains. But yeah, that's probably my oldest shirt. That's about 17 years old, I want to say.
That's crazy. I don't know that
Yeah,
I got one that old, man. I don't. I went through a phase where I was buying mediums, and so a lot of them were mediums, and they're way too tight back then. And so, like, I was being pretty
yeah.
ballsy then about it. But
I had a phase like right when I got back from basic and I had all that money, but I was also super skinny. I want to say I was like 170 at the time. I was buying a
mm,
lot of mediums and I probably shouldn't have. 'Cause remember I had the sworn in death card hoodie, didn't fit. Obviously, it doesn't fit anymore. I had to get rid of it. Um,
damn,
I had
what
the
about that?
Watain shirt. Uh, that went out the door pretty quickly.
Oh man.
Then
I actually have your old. That is one that I do still have. That's a little undersized, but oddly, I think that line ran big. But it was that I declare war, the bold choice shirt with the noose on it, and it says,
oh yeah,
"We are violent people by nature."
yeah. That's I turned into a cutoff, didn't it?
Yeah, but that
I
like
do
that
miss
shirt
that
still
shirt.
fits me great. Yeah, it's a great shirt, man. I gotta say.
Yeah,
But it's definitely like, should I wear this? And like, what does it mean? And
yeah.
you know,
That's I think that's the sole reason I got rid of that one. And my other I Declare War shirt with the other like offensive shit on the back. But
they
I
had
think
the dude, they did a whole run of uber offensive shit like that. Like, and
hmm
it's just like it was always on the line type shit. always on the line, like super racy, just not racist, but just a bold choice in their,
Yes, it's
like they
every
had one
shirt
with
was
like,
going to offend someone.
yes, exactly. And it was like, come on, guys, can't we just like get a logo shirt every now and then or something, But one was like Chris Farley, like in
Hmm.
his autopsy photo, and then just like I declare war on it, I think. And it's just
Well,
like,
didn't it
why?
say "Legends Die Young" or something like that?
Oh, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
And
But
they
it's
also
just
had
like,
the and there's nothing wrong with it, but at the time it was still like not fully it was not as accepted as it was today. But I remember a long time ago they had the two dudes making out, and it said, "Who the fuck cares?" I declare
oh,
war.
oh, with like a rainbow on it, maybe too, I think.
No, I think it was still
In
just
fact,
black and white.
really? Oh, okay. I thought they did like a rainbow one. Maybe not. Yeah, I
And I
don't know.
want to say they had another one. It was like an old like World War II photo of someone like carrying like a child's corpse,
Huh.
and it had the
Okay.
"We are violent people by nature" kind of thing on it. Like they were no shirt was. I feel like no shirt was something you could wear in public
Yeah.
at all times.
Yeah, you definitely get some looks, man. And it's like they kind of fit into like Emir and Emir's run with that shit. Do you remember
Hmm.
that? Like Frankie Palmieri did that whole run, and that was with their was that with the Speaker of the Dead album? Or what album was that?
Which
Where they came out
merch?
with the untitled song.
Oh,
It
that was
wasn't even
Eternal
necessarily
Enemies.
merch, but oh yeah, okay. Well, at first this song was called Bring a Gun to School. And so he like got under fire about it. Metal Injection interviewed him, and I think it was Metal Injection. But anyways, I remember the interview was super confrontational. Fucking, they were just like back and forth, like, "Fuck you!" Like, why you gotta ask that? That kind of type shit. It was super uncomfortable. But then it was like the dude still kind of had really good points, even though like I felt like I watched that interview and I ended up hating both individuals. I hated the interviewer and I hated Frankie Palmieri. It was just like I agreed with the interviewer because his stance was just like, why come, like, why, like, what was the point of this, like, and were you just trying to get the attention from it, or, and then he just kind of like demeaned him after Frankie's answer, and I think Frankie's answer was summed up to like, like it was definitely influenced by shock factor, but it's more just like this is art type. I don't know. I'm probably totally fucking it up. I can't quote it by any means, but if you can find it, it's out there. Frankie Palmieri does an interview around that era of that release, I think, and that's brought up. But yeah, I don't know. I hated both people after watching that. Because it was just like, why? Yeah, I don't know. It was a bold choice. What were your thoughts on that? I mean, because I'm sure you remember it.
Yeah, I remember it, and I even remember this specifically the song because I feel like they even use audio samples from an actual shooting.
Oh, wow. I don't know. I know it opens up with like, all your friends are fucking dead. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Shit
that
like
part, I
that.
feel like it would have been fine. I feel like it would have at least been like I felt
I
like
think if they did a different title, the song could have survived.
well, I think
Is the
there's
time.
a specific line that I'm thinking. I was like, all right, this is where it's no longer like this is where you've crossed the line. I feel like every part, like all your friends are fucking dead and all that stuff. Like that's I feel like that was like fine if he would have like took it a certain way. But it was the part of like, holy fucking shit, I'm having too much fun killing everyone. It's like, okay,
Okay.
now this is no longer about like drawing attention to it or anything like that. This is really just like it's essentially almost glorifying it kind of thing. Because I remember, I don't know if it was the same
Yeah.
interview, but I remember hearing about it where he pretty much justified it as like, yeah, just growing up, we were watching Columbine, we, wore a bunch of trench coats, and that was just part of the culture. And it's just like, so the culture is what exactly kind of thing?
Yes. Oh man. I didn't know he said that, but Yeah, it's just like I think I assume it probably was the same interview, but yeah, I don't know. We kind of went off on a tangent there.
It's all right.
But
So yeah, laundry.
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that's still
Yeah.
interesting. Like, I feel like that's for the older people because that came out what 2013 or something around there. I want to
Yeah,
say it came out.
I think
And I
so.
remember that even started some conversation. I remember me and you kind of got in an argument when we were at the governor's mansion because they wrote an article after it. Was whether or not artists should be held accountable for their lyrics.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you can't do that though. I think I don't remember what my point was back then, but if I was to answer that question now, oh. I don't remember what side it was for on that one, but I
I
think
know.
that you I don't know, man. You limit freedom of speech, I think,
Mhm.
with that, you know.
And I think yeah, because I think that was your argument. And I remember, so I think back then I was under the impression that we were talking about something else of whether or not you should take not necessarily real world responsibility, but like, no, you wrote like a terrible song kind of thing. Like, don't hide behind this art. Like, no, you wrote a terrible song kind of thing. I wasn't really thinking so much like legal responsibilities. I
Yeah.
think that
Oh,
was where
okay.
the issue came from. Is that once I've said that, and I was like, yeah, they should. And I remember you and I think it was Andrew were like, why the fuck would you agree with that kind of thing? And and it's like, yeah, I agree. You technically shouldn't have legal responsibilities, but when it comes to like you being shamed for like writing shitty things, yeah, you should be shamed for it. Legally, no. But when it comes to like if you wrote a shitty song or if you say you did something but you didn't actually do, like I think more of like rap, where it's like I said
Hmm.
I did this and this and
Yeah.
this. It's like no, you
12
fucking
shots
didn't.
on that motherfucker. Yeah,
Oh
you
no,
know.
I didn't really do. I didn't mean it like that. I'm not going to take responsibility for what I said. That was my
Yeah.
thoughts. But as soon as like I was young and very like argumentative. So as soon as I had, as soon as I had pushback, I was like, no, I'm going to dig my heels. Fuck this, and just start.
Take your stance.
I don't even know if I
Yep.
totally agree with what I'm saying, but fuck it, I'll argue.
Yeah, right. No, it's I definitely see both sides. And but that's where we gave birth to extreme metal. And like
Hmm.
that totally goes on the topic of my conspiracy behind Cannibal Corpse and that they are all just serial killers writing songs about how they kill people and literally
So
take samples of their killings and put them in songs.
so that does maybe this will come full circle then. So if someone says something and then does something, does that song should that song be technically used as evidence of a confession?
I don't know. I think we've had some like battles of that shit in court recently. I think with some rappers. I can't name them. I don't remember them. I bet if I asked my brother, he could probably tell me. He's he's the more, in tune with the rap news and shit. But man, I swear I just seen that in somewhere where a rapper is going through trial based off lyrics that are tied to an actual crime that was committed.
I want to say that's probably Chicago, like Young Vaughn and Lil Durk and like all the Chicago drill rappers. Because I want to say they're always
Maybe.
that's like the whole genres they talk about like the gang stuff and like shooting each other and stuff. So I feel like I want to say they're probably the most under the microscope and getting in trouble for their own lyrics kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, like you don't really see that or, you don't really get suspicions of that in metal. But metal is also more death related. It's not really gang related. I mean, as far as like, it's more of just like killing people. Like no one's named and shit like that. And so I don't know. It's vague, but like I
Hmm.
guess, go more into detail of how the killing is done. Whereas,
Yeah.
rap is just like shots, shot that motherfucker. I don't know, type shit. You know what I mean?
There's one example though that makes me think of that, and I feel like the same thing that he does in this song, a rapper does the same thing. So I specifically remember King 810 in the song
Oh, okay. Great
uh,
example.
"Right About Us," where he was talking about finding one of his friend's body, and he bleeps out the name.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that is very true. I remember that because that song is almost like a he's basically talking about all his people locked up still, right? And he
Mm-hmm.
wanted to that's the gist that I got about it. He's speaking for the people that are still locked up, probably always will be.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool, man. If that song is true, those people behind it are true. Man, that's I didn't even think of King 810 in that. That's crazy. Great example though. Um, but yeah, I feel like whenever you hear that, I don't know, that dude's just David Gunn. I feel like when you hear those lyrics, as far as his old shit, like I didn't really catch on to the new stuff yet, anyways. But that old shit, man, I feel like it is really from the heart. And like
Mm-hmm.
that dude, I feel like you can hear the pain in his voice. And uh, man, I forgot about that song. I really like that song too. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah, I'll go back to King 810, but yeah, Kendrick Lamar does a similar thing in I want to say it's Good Kid, Mad City, or maybe the song's just called Mad City. The part where he says the same place where, and then it beeps out where it hangs out, where they're talking
Mm,
about someone got shot, and he says it's the same place that. And so I almost wonder if that's one of those things where like they know something and they want to say in a song, but they don't want it to
mm,
be held up in court, kind of thing. So they
that's
intentionally bleep
crazy.
it, or if they're just trying to get create that aura in the song. I don't know,
That's crazy.
but
Do you think that side stem, but do you think that there is a department within the FBI or police force that their job is to investigate and listen to music that could possibly and potentially be related to crime? And they're just sitting there in the office like bobbing their heads. No.
that would be a great job. However, I don't think that technically that would be a job. I think that they're more worried about like someone catching on and just tipping them off, like, hey, he specifically says that this crime that occurred, blah 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 blah, in this song. Check it out. It's like, oh yeah, they're right. Also, it's a bop. So,
Yeah.
but
And like one officer's just like, well, his face was smashed in by a hammer. I don't know. So,
but
George Corpse Grinder Fisher, you are under the arrest
that's
for
what I didn't do
suspicion
it.
of
That's what I
murder.
didn't do it. For some reason, I
Man.
imagine Corpse Grinder, whenever if he ever got arrested, him just sounding exactly like Alex Jones. Try to do it.
Yeah, I didn't
But,
do it.
but speaking of King 810, the thing that like that, especially that older stuff, the thing that really caught my attention because we were both working at the prison at the time, didn't it seem
Mhm.
like, especially like listening to lyrics and reading lyrics, it felt real specifically because it felt like you were like, remember when we were in Three House, the ad seg, and we would go in there and we would sometimes find like lyrics to songs that they had written. It almost
Yeah,
felt exactly the same. Like
yeah.
not
There's
necessarily like the best lyricists, but it felt just like those.
oh sure, and like I always liked going out to the backyard and you see this circle of dudes and one's in the center and he's just like fucking freestyling, getting it. And yeah, it may not all be perfection, but there's artists stuck in there. I 100% believe it. And
Hmm.
they fucked up somewhere along the road and um they got fucking just, pulled up into some shit, wrong place, wrong time. But there's absolutely artists within that place. I definitely believe it. But yeah, man. So like you can easily like the shit that David Gunn does say in King 810 is it's on par, with I feel like the whole prison lifestyle. Like it's definitely doesn't seem like he's full of shit after
Hmm.
working in that place. So
Yeah, and that's why. Cause I've been seeing some people like compare it, like say he's cringy, the band's cringy, and like comparing him like Red
I'd be scared
State.
to tell that dude that he's cringy to his face.
Well, I've been
I
seeing.
really would.
I'm not saying he's cringy. Although
No, I know.
I don't like their new stuff. But I've been seeing like a lot of like bigger like metal people talk about like comparing him to like this band to like Red State, typical Red State metal that acts like Seven Dust or Five Finger Death Punch or
Ouch.
Disturbed. It's like, well, it's
Damn.
not the same. Like when they talk about like being like, oh, I'm super angry, oh, you don't want to mess with me. It's a lot different because it based off of like at least from our experience, this at least feels real. It feels like it's when it
Yeah.
talks about like the criminal stuff, like it's this is actually sounds real. It sounds like he actually is. There's some artistry
And I guess we should
behind the
shout
tough
out this
guy.
album just if for those that are out there that haven't listened to it, but I think I speak for both of us. The album that we're referring to when we say Old King 810 would be Memoirs of a Murderer, right? Is
Hmm.
that what it's called?
Yeah, they're. I think it's their debut. I consider it their debut. If they have another one, I don't care. I that's the one that
Yeah.
I got
That's
interested into him, and you. I'm
yeah,
pretty sure you
that's
did around the same time.
yeah, that's the album for me, dude. And it's just front to back, absolutely, I think phenomenal. Honestly, that one and the follow-up. That one and the follow-up to that was great. I
Hmm.
loved La Petite Mort, honestly, just as
Oh yeah.
much. It's great. It's definitely more of like the kind of chill vibes. They kind of chill out in their sound. They oddly get like some jazz influence in there. Very cool though, man. Very fucking
Hmm.
cool album. Um, but yeah, definitely solid. Check it out. Um, yeah,
I would even say
sidetrack.
those.
But
Yeah, I would say their first two are their best. I still did like Suicide King. Um,
hmm
I would say it's still not as good as like their first two, but I do feel like it's starting to go towards where they are now. Where it is still a little weird, but there is still a lot of good meat on that album. Like 4 or 5, Bang Guns.
oh yeah.
I want to say is Millionaire on that one or $1 million?
Oh yeah, I think you're right. $1 million, $1 million, or something like that. Let me see. Heartbeats. That was the Heartbeats was the big one. Yeah, $1 million is on there. Black Rifle, I think that one was really good too.
Ooh, yeah, that was that very like I don't know. I guess you call it bluesy. I got my
Yeah,
black rifle, baby in a bottle.
yeah. And then Wade in the Water and Sing Me to
Ooh,
Sleep. The last two songs. Yeah, dude.
yeah. It was very good. Still not as good as like you said, Le Petit More and Memoirs of a Murderer. Those are front to back. I don't know. I so they both have their own vibes. I love Memoir of a Murder. It has a lot of like good songs like that get you
hmm
like Right About Us, Bad Around the
Heavy and
Heart.
hard hitting, dude.
But something
You know.
about the Petite More, especially those first couple songs, it's just heavy and great. And even when they're
Yeah.
soft in it, it's like, ooh, it's still good. So,
I know. I love the video that they did the porn to. That the weirdest music video release for a metal band, I think, in a very long time. They released a video on Pornhub, and I don't know that you can watch it anywhere but there. But anyways, you're essentially watching a porno go down, and David Gunn is walking around them banging and just, but like it's kind of like rap lyrics. It's not even really rap, but he's just spitting some kind of heavy shit with this like dark ambient style kind of progressive music just hitting in the background, dude. That constant beat. I love that shit, dude.
mhm.
And yeah, I love that album. I don't know. So cool, man.
Yeah. And even that, even though the video is what it is, I do feel like there is some artistic value in it because if you notice,
There
like
is. It was
most
really
of the
weird.
half, most of the first half is just the girls. And it's not until
hmm
the Papa, I'm a Rolling Stone comment is when the guy comes in. And that's when things kind of change. It feels a little bit more violent, a little bit. And that's when I feel like the lyrics also kind of get more angry. So I do think, like, yes, we can say it's like crass, it's just like shock value, but I do feel like there is a little bit of artistic expression in the video. It's just in a very inappropriate way, obviously, because it's where it's at. But
It's extreme. It's an
hmm
extreme way to, yeah, I don't know, man. It's wild.
hmm
It's just, I thought I was like, what? Because I remember the hype up to the video release. I was like, only on Pornhub? What the fuck? Like, I remember them advertising for that. I was like, okay, well, I'm definitely tuning in for that. No. But I did, dude. I watched that fucking thing the day it came out because I was just so interested. Just the fact that it's being released on Pornhub. It's like, what the fuck is this going to be? You know? So wild. But yeah,
yeah.
anyways. I gotta pee. I need to take a pee break real quick.
All right.
I'm over here like fucking dancing.
While you're doing that, I'll set up the album rankings because I haven't done that yet.
All right. Oh, asshole.
Sorry. Yeah, we're gonna switch from talking about the new metal of King 810. We're gonna switch to some grindcore with the
Hmm.
Pig Destroyer
Let's destroy
album
some pigs.
rankings. Hell yeah! So apparently there's not a lot of So the website I used, tiermaker.com. Apparently there was not a lot of Pig Destroyer album rankings. That wasn't, but I did
Oh.
find one thanks to Metal Trenches. Do you watch Metal Trenches at all on YouTube? He's to do with
Mm-mm.
the like skull mask.
Uh-huh.
I watch him from time to time, although he's kind of on my shit list because he so he does like a monthly thing like where he's like these are the albums that came out this month. This is my ranking. Do you know what he put as the best metal album of August? And
This
he
year?
went through like every metal album that we talked about
Yeah. I don't
and
know. I
more.
don't even remember what came out in August.
So Nile came out.
Oh, okay.
A bunch of great albums came out. He put Within the Ruins as the best album of August.
Oh my God. Wow.
And
Shit.
Teeth.
Well,
Teeth
is
was
he like a is he a deathcore lover or?
I don't know. I didn't think he was because since he kind of reviews like just about any like death metal album you can think of, he's like, all right, this new album's come out, so I'm gonna go through this band's entire discography, rank what I think is S tier, blah blah blah.
Hmm.
So I figured like, all right, he's cultured, he knows more about like these extreme subgenres. No, he picked Phenomena 2 as the best metal album of August, which I found weird. But luckily,
Hmm.
he made a Pig Destroyer discography tier maker, so we'll use that.
Hmm.
And here
Interesting.
we go. And share. So just a disclaimer, we are not going to talk about explosions in Ward 6. I didn't put it on the playlist, and it's not something
God
I've
damn you,
listened to it a
Jeff.
couple times, but it's not on. So the album itself is not on Spotify right now. It is a part of the 38 Counts of Battery, which includes all their like underground stuff. So we're not going to go through that.
Sorry. I thought I was hearing crazy neighbor sounds, but I
I
guess it
got
was
you.
my daughter. She woke up from sleep.
I got you. She okay?
Yeah, I think she's okay. Sounds like she was just disturbed. Um,
Bad dream.
yeah, maybe. So she passes out and she passed out in her bed. And I left the nightlight on, but I guess she just kind of she wakes up scared, just wants to crawl in bed, that sort of shit.
I got you.
But it sounds like Mama's got it, so I think we're good.
So I didn't watch. I only watched half, like maybe less than half the debate. One of my coworkers, he's a huge Trump supporter. He's even in some of the conspiracy theory stuff. Even he said it was hard to watch, and Kamala did very good.
Oh
So
wow,
that's interesting.
interesting.
I now want to watch it after this, so we'll see. But yeah, um, so yeah, we're not going to go over explosions in Word 6 because, in my opinion, um, Pig Destroyer doesn't really fully start until Prowler in the Yard. So I'm going to skip this one. This is more their underground stuff, in my opinion.
Okay.
Um, and then Octagonal Stairway is an EP. It's not an album. If we're going to do an EP, we got a lot of stuff we got to add to it. And I don't feel like going down that because really Octagonal Stairway only has like 2 new songs on it. So no point in it. We will only stick to the 5 major studio albums.
These guys got a lot of fucking tracks. I think if you take all 5 of their albums, you could have added a 6th just with the number of tracks that they
Oh,
have.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially with their first 2 albums. And I think that's
Yeah.
the grindcore in them. Like all the songs are very
Yeah.
short. I want to say
Right.
the first 2 albums is 40 songs. I want to say because I want to say it's 20 songs each. Um, and then as their career progressed, they changed things up. Albums got shorter. But yeah, they started off pure grindcore, especially in their early underground stages. I didn't want to have you go through that with like the 38 Counts of Battery compilation, which has Explosions of Word 6. It's more of their underground stuff. I want to focus more on their what most people consider their core albums. So before we even get started, this is a band I fucking love, and listening to all of these again, I can understand if anyone was come to me and say any one of their main 5 albums is their best, I could probably agree at whatever point. They each have their own thing. I have my personal favorite, but I can see it going anyway.
Yeah.
Were you
Like
able
they're
to go through their discography?
I went through a lot of it. I kind of skimmed the second half of what we have here, and I liked it, man. It was good. It was fun. And just to comment on what you were saying about the album lengths, you said that they get longer, but like really, it's just they wrote or I can't remember what you said, but they reduced their tracks, but they're still writing. Like these albums are collectively, all of them are around that 30-minute marker. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're not crazy long, but damn, it's insane. Like how the first 2 albums, literally like 20 tracks, and it's just like, good grief. It seems overwhelming going into. But one thing I loved about this band, dude, is I felt like they are so damn good at picking titles.
Mm-hmm.
Like all these titles sound so damn interesting to me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like there's just some bands that I'm just like I see the titles, I'm like, that sucks. Sucks shit, boring. Every single track that these guys uh title is just I don't know, it's genius. It
Oh
sounds
yeah.
awesome.
And for
But
me, there's a lot to love about this band. I think we'll get through it with this rundown. Um, but yeah, their song titles are great. And I guess I haven't noticed it until recently, going through their discography again. Most of their merch, they have a lot of shirts of just 4 particular songs. And I guess I didn't
oh
realize that
well.
until recently. Like they have a shirt for Scarlet Hourglass. They have a shirt for uh, All Seeing Eye, Mount Skull. Like they have a lot of just random shirts for random songs in their discography, and they're great. Um, but yeah, might as well just kick it off. One
Yeah.
thing about this band, we'll just get into it. So their debut full length would be Prowler in the Yard. I want to say this came out in 2000. Um, this is one, from what I understand, is their only actual full concept album. Um, However, this is their most grindcore-ish, um, pure
Definitely.
because they started off as like underground political grindcore to where they went to more like let's drop the political stuff and just do like gory, fucked up shit. And that is this Prowler in the Yard. Starts off with a great, with very disturbing intro with Jennifer, which the conclusion of it, if you want to call it a conclusion, is at the end of Piss Angel is like a hidden track. Um, Yeah, this is the first, I want to say, like 8 songs is just beating you over the head very fast, like 10 to
Yeah.
30-second songs, with like I want to say
Terrifying album
scatology.
cover.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
and it's like they got scatology, homework, Trojan horror, cheerleader corpses, like just rapid fire. Like before you know it, you're on track 10. For me
Yeah.
though, the best songs are in the second half of the album, with like Maplethorpe Gray, Sheet Metal Girl, Starbelly, and Piss Angel. And one thing, and it's very noticeable in this album, is that Pig Shore is very good with their lyrics. I've heard it described in many ways. I've heard some people say it's like a Rorschach test. They just put things out there, and however you interpret it says what something about you. But listening to this all the way through and look at the lyrics, I think it's more of like he'll write a full length story and then take a bunch of stuff out, and then leave the imagination to the listener. A lot of fucking with the listener kind of stuff.
Oh,
Because
interesting.
from what I understand, the story is something about a messy breakup, and it leads to a psychopathic murderous person to where he ends up just killing a bunch of people, including the girl. Which I don't, and that's the thing is like there's the beginning is very staticky. I'm not picking up any of that. It's not till like later have like things are finally coming more and more into focus. You're like, oh, this is what's happening. Like there's like a decapitated head on his or decapitated body on his couch and stuff. I want to say that's in like
Yeah.
Starbelly ish territory in the album. It's a
Wow.
pretty good album. I can see where it would be someone's number one. It's not my number one. I would probably give this a 7. What do you think
Okay.
of this album?
So this one, it's a little too grindcore for me. I'm personally, I'm not a grindcore guy. Oddly, I love like the grindcore origin bands, but then like I love their later development, and so, almost with like all, grindcore bands, but that I listen to, but this one just kind of fell short for me. But I did listen to it all the way through. But it's just a little too. Yeah, chaos. And I love it, but hate it kind of at the same time because I feel like it's music that just stresses you out, puts you on edge, and like it's just not music you can chill out to. But I think that's for good reason. With that being said, so still extreme, badass, aggressive, very in your face type shit. It was cool. It was solid. But I think for me, I'm probably going to give it a 6.
Okay, so this would probably be right here. I'm going to put it right at 13. Um, I know. So we're not going to be metal. We're giving our honest opinions. I see a lot of metal elitists give this number one, and I'm not going to agree with that. And it seems like we're both kind of in agreement. This is not their best album.
Okay.
So, and I feel like Pig to Short attracts a lot of elitist fans with how they are. If you're an elitist fan and you think this is number one, you can have that opinion. If you're pissed off about it, well, start your own
Suck it up,
podcast. Yeah,
Buttercup.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, up next is their next album, Terrifier. I feel like this kind of picks up very similarly to Pride in the Yard. However, I feel like it's a little bit more slightly better production, not as better as it eventually gets, but
Hmm.
I love how this starts. The very ominous, creepy intro with I want to say it's like a dripping pipe, and then it kicks into the very first actual song with just the immediate like just kind of scares you kind of shit. I want to say it's
Hmm.
Pretty in Cass is the opening
Yes.
track. This is still very much the same. However, for me, this is where the main appeal for Pig Destroyer, the riffs come into play. Riffs come more prominent in this album, and especially in like Scarlet Hourglass, Thumbsucker, and Grave Dancer. Um, More riff oriented. Scott Hole, uh, Beast on guitar, and I think that's where these shorter songs kind of make those riffs pop more. To where if this was like an actual normal song, those riffs repeat more, it loses interest. But since it's short and you only hear those great riffs once, it makes a hit that much more. I'm going to give this a 7.5.
Okay. I'm digging the boobs.
Yes, apparently this was from an actual magazine, and they just
Hmm.
filtered it to make it look disturbing.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Interesting. Yeah, because I like how you have like the kind of like beauty with like the haunting type shit because it definitely is disturbing. It's got the disturbing vibe. But wow, that's cool. I like that. Props to the editor on that one, man. It's pretty sweet. But yeah, I kind of really like what you said about it. I'm kind of on the same lines. Like I think that it is kind of we it's kind of the same here. I think the sound progresses, but for me, I didn't really think that there was too much different going on. But still, man, again, like their title tracks, dude, fucking just they're so good at like titling
Hmm.
songs. I see these titles, I want to listen to them. Grave Dancer, Lost Cause, Sourheart, literally all of them. Song of Filth, Firminus, Torture Ballad, like Restraining Order Blues. That's so cool. I love that, dude. Uh, it's great. But yeah, so this was kind of, along the same lines, nothing too different, but a sound progression there. So I think I'm gonna throw a 6.5 at it.
Okay, so we're going to have at a 14. All right, that's pretty good, pretty fair. All right, so up next, um, this is where, uh, so this is going to be their third album, Phantom Limb. This is where So one thing I want to add before we move on from Terrifier is it's not on this one, but apparently originally they released as a bonus track or like as a deluxe was the song Natasha, which they eventually released as just an EP, is a one song 40-minute long song, which compared to everything
Wow,
else Picture had done to this point was completely opposite. And this was more of a sludgy, atmospheric tale of very pig to short-ish, to where a man, I think, murders I don't want to say his girlfriend in a park after she breaks up with him, comes back a year later and reminisces about how he misses her and some about like he feels like her ghost is calling him into the woods. He's going deeper and deeper in the woods. As he's going more deeper and deeper in the woods, it seems like the trees around him are almost flesh-like or have like eyes. And as he goes deeper and deeper, it's more and more of that. To where eventually he realizes he's in a giant mouth, and it's
that's
the
crazy.
it's the girl, and she swallows him whole, and it's
Oh
that
wow,
whole fucked up. And that's one thing that, like, yes, there's like a little bit of there's a lot of Big Short, pretty much almost violence, but there's a lot of themes that seem to carry on. It's a lot of male violence, but there's also a lot of like almost like women with like some like mystical, almost godlike power, to where it doesn't matter how violent they are, like the women are somehow more powerful, kind of thing. Which is kind of a
hmm,
cool dynamic in this genre. But yeah, with that experimentation comes even more experimentation with their follow up to this, which is Phantom Limb, where they decide to take their grindcore and add
oh
a
yeah,
bunch of death metal to it. And for me, this is one of their catchiest albums. This has,
absolutely.
for my notes, this has probably the most songs I wrote notes on. And this is the album that introduced me with the song Loathsome. I saw the music video on Headbangers Ball, messed up. But again, one of those weird, like, you don't fully know what's going on, you just know it's messed up. Um, Great album, a lot of death metal stuff on here, even some breakdowny stuff. So you got songs like Death Tripper, Thought Crime Spree, Cemetery Road, Loathsome, like I said, Heathen Temple, and then one of my favorite songs, Girl in a Slayer Jacket, which I absolutely love. And this song is another example of one of those things where it gives you a lot of detail but you don't really fully. It's one of those things like, well, what's the message of the song? What's it trying to convey? And it's one of those things where it's like different people have different opinions. I had my opinion, and I remember telling you and Josh one night when we were drunk, and Josh said something like, "I didn't even think about that," because I thought it was one of those songs where like sometimes people are just born broken kind of thing, and he was like,
Huh.
"Oh no, she was molested," and I was like, "Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. Blew my mind." And that was where I don't. Some is a lot of great. I got to bring it up.
Interesting. So are we looking at lyrics here?
Yeah, I'm gonna look at
Oh,
lyrics of this one.
they don't have them on Spotify. That sucks.
Uh,
Real quick, is this the same artist that has done a I don't know, Baroness cover maybe, or Every
oh
Time I Die
yes,
cover, or
yes. I was wanting to bring that up. So the guy who
okay.
did this art is from Baroness John Baisley. He's the one who does all their
Okay.
artwork and is also sings in it.
Nice. Okay, awesome. Yeah, because I definitely got that as soon as I looked at it. Very eye appealing, man. I really love
Hmm.
that cover. Very cool. Um, damn, sadly it doesn't look like the lyrics are on Spotify. Oh no, they are. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot.
Which
All
one are
right.
you looking at?
The girl in Slayer, the Slayer jacket.
Oh yeah, it's one of the, and this is one of the things I want to bring up. It's hard to tell, is it real because he actually puts himself in the lyrics. Like the girl in the Slayer jacket gave me my first kiss when I was in seventh grade, and then she used to smoke weed with my older sister in the woods behind the arcade. The girl in the Slayer jacket had thick skin, but if you cut her, the wound would bleed forever. She would bleed forever. The girl in the Slayer jacket hung herself from an overpass down on McLean, where the old trees loom. Her parents tried to sue Slayer. They blamed her. Her parents tried to sue Slayer. They blamed her boyfriend and PCP. But the truth is, behind her eyes, had been dead since she was 5, and she had just hadn't disposed of her body.
Ugh, yikes. Good grief, dude. That's so heavy.
It's one, yeah,
Is that
because one of
based
those
on a
things.
true story?
That's what's hard to tell about it since he injects himself in his own in the song. It's like, so is this a true
Hmm.
story or is this just like really? And that's one of the things he gives a lot of like
Damn, dude.
detail that
Yeah,
makes you draw
McLean
in
Lane.
more.
Oh, I kind of like it puts me in a shitty vibe. No, it's like not like this podcast is gonna derail vibes, but like it's just damn, that's heavy, dude. And that's like one thing that I want to comment on that you're talking about. It's like, okay, so these themes, these lyrics are so in depth. This dude has got to be writing this material before he's even hearing this music, is is my understanding.
Hmm.
Because how could you just come up with this shit on the fly as you're listening to the riffs? You're like, okay, I'm gonna scream there, I'm gonna scream, this here. That's, for instance, a more common style of music writing to me. A vocalist musician would get the song and then write to it. Whereas I feel like I've commented this on, I think a handful of podcasts ago, but this is a prime example of where I feel like there's a different kind of takeoff of lyricism, man. And I think this guy shines in that.
Hmm.
I don't know these band members off the top of my head. I know a couple of them because I did some research before tonight, but I don't. What's the vocalist name? Do you know?
J.R. Hayes.
Okay. Is he ripping guitar too, or is it just vocals?
No,
Or
he is solely vocals. The guitarist is Scott Holt, and I want to say they are the only two original members. So
okay,
that's probably something I should
interesting.
have probably explained up front. So the band originally is literally just like J.R. Hayes on vocals, Scott Hole on guitar, and it was some guy on drums. I don't think he's in the band anymore, and that was it. Eventually, they added, I want to say his name was Blake Harrison as the keyboardist and samples. He was the guy who did all the sample stuff, and they didn't add a bassist until 2013. So that's why Scott Hole, the guitarist, is doing so much trying to uh, eliminate the space that the lack of a bassist is creating.
Okay. Okay. I can definitely get that. Um, but wow, man. Um, just a heavy lyrics right there. Just reading that, it's just like, damn, like I can't help but feel sad. It feels
Hmm.
like it's a true story. I
Yeah.
don't know. That's crazy if it's not, honestly. Because like my reaction, like I'm saddened to hear about the girl in the Slayer jacket. Like she's been dead since five. Damn. And like to comment on that, like, yeah, I think Josh's assumption was right.
Hmm. Yeah,
That's
it's where
nuts,
it's
man.
possibly a molestation, but it doesn't come out and say it. It's one of those things like it
Yeah.
gives you so many pieces to kind of come to that
Mm,
conclusion.
that really sucks. Wow.
Yeah, this is so that song alone, well, pretty much the whole album for me, there's just a lot of great stuff going on. So for me, I'm gonna give this a 9.5. This is this is
Oh, damn.
almost my favorite album.
Yeah. Um, I think I'm right there with you, man, on that. This was my first uh discovery of Big Destroyer. I think it starts off banging. But for me, I think what's most important is like you could just, it seems like a vibe change. Like they're kind of drifting from grindcore, and I feel like they are getting almost into like the longer songwriting elements, more or trying to construct a more like typical 3 minute song, that's it's becoming more common.
Hmm.
You don't get like 6 minute, 8 minute songs here by any means. Even with this band, it's just not that band, but they're getting into a longer song. And so I it but I think it just again with what you said, like you get more there's so much more memorable moments with this album, so much more hits, like great tracks. I think there's so many good elements about it, dude. I think I'm gonna give this one a 9.
Okay, awesome. So we're at an 18.5 with that one. I do love this album. Sorry, I'm a little drunk. I'm a little couple whiskeys deep. And
How
then
how okay. Sorry, I gotta look, Cannon. I was about to be like, "How drunk are you?" But you immediately answered, so oh my God, and he's gone. Jeffrey Ledbetter just left. All right, I guess I'm gonna do this thing solo. Okay. Uh, we okay. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Let's see. Weekly shout outs. Do I have anything I wanted to promote? Feel like I do. Shout out to okay, yeah, right here. G Tech or no, sorry, not G Tech. G5 Montech, 100% steel tough. One solid piece of 100% steel, reusable design broadheads. So go pick some of those up if you want to kill something with an arrow.
yeah,
Anyways, all right, Jeff's back.
yeah. Sorry, I just had to pee. Yeah,
Oh, no worries. Man, that was a quick pee. Do you have a bathroom like that close to you?
yeah. So like the upstairs is literally just the bedroom, this closet I'm in, and then the closet and the bathroom don't have a door. It's just me. I can walk 15
Nice.
feet to the toilet.
Oh yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah,
I
it's
really
pretty
would
great.
love like a toilet in here, or just like maybe a bottle. Maybe I should start going the bottle route.
Or even like a bedpan.
Yeah. Did you ever piss in a bottle in the backyard at the prison?
No.
Oh. Well, for legality purposes, I didn't either. But, um, I don't know. Has it been like 7 years since I worked there? Yeah, I think it has.
Yeah, you should be good.
Yeah. So, yeah, past statute of limitations. Yeah, I pissed in so many bottles working there, man. But,
I don't know. I
if
think
you're
I
in that
just pissed in
shack
the
on
inmates' toilets.
oh yeah, I've done that too. But if you're all the way clear on the backyard, they didn't have a toilet accessible. They just had the guard shack. And the guard shack was basically just like this tinted window, tiny box you could sit in and fucking just watch the rec yard. So literally
Man,
me and another individual would just keep our water bottles on us and piss in them.
Don't you not miss the summers in Algoa with
They're
no
fucking
AC?
terrible. Yeah, no AC, nowhere. I couldn't imagine it. Like I feel like the older I've gotten, the hotter I feel like it's gotten.
Hmm.
I'm not necessarily on the whole global warming impact drastic change, but I definitely feel like as I've gotten older, that heat and cold or you become more sensitive to them, you know. But
Hmm.
so like for those reasons, yeah, I absolutely fucking am glad that I am not back in there.
Yeah,
But yeah,
those
anyways,
days sucked. Yeah,
yeah, they did. Back
yeah,
to destroying pigs.
yeah. So up next after Phantom Limb, in my opinion, it seems like so with Phantom Limb they incorporated a lot of death metal. I feel like it's almost like a almost more of a death grind album. With their next album though, feels like they dialed back the death metal. It's still a little bit present. It feels like they went almost took a. It's almost like they combined Terrifier and Phantom Limb, along with better production, and made their next album, which I'm just going to be upfront. This is my favorite album. That is the album Book Burner. Um,
Hell yeah.
yeah, so I have a. Originally, when this came out, I was very upset. Wasn't too familiar with this band. I heard of them. I knew Loathsome, but this is back in my like metalcore deathcore phase, and I remember seeing this was on everyone's end of the year best album list. I was like, "Where's whatever metalcore band or deathcore band or whatever I thought was the best album that year? Why is this getting all of it?" And then I downloaded it, and I realized why. It's especially the more I listen to it, the more I love it. It's been what almost 12 years since this album's come out, and it's still great.
Yeah.
So like the big song from this is the music video for Diplomat.
Fuck yes.
Just
Oh,
riff after riff, just
dude, yeah.
chonkiness.
That
Um,
riff lives in my mind. That
it's
is a
great.
riff that just pops in my brain. I could be doing anything, and I just hear that, and I'm just like, oh my God, dude. And I gotta say, that song is too short.
Yes.
They brought the Pig Destroyer back by not giving me enough of that riff. And I
Hmm.
kind of hate him for it because I fucking love that song, dude. And I remember the video being so fucked up, but such a great message. Or I don't even know that I know the clear message about it, but I feel like you watch the video and it's a monkey. They discover the guns get passed around, then they start using the guns, they're killing each other. And it's just like, wow, this is amazing.
Oh
Or
yeah.
like you have the fucking crazy guy that brings the briefcase right with the gun and all that
Hmm.
shit.
Well, I even looked at the lyrics, and it looks like the lyrics like are almost exactly the same as the music video. Because I always wondered, like, I can sing it along, but I don't feel like I don't know all the lyrics. So, like on the
Hmm.
Spotify lyrics, like, oh, this is everything he's saying. Like, we never ever change. We make the same mistakes. If you're gonna have roads, you're gonna have roadkill. That's the risk that it
Mm.
takes. Stone guns, primitive tanks.
Just
Base
man,
emotions drive the horde. The diplomat takes the rook from the board. I want to know what
it's
it
so
was
crazy.
that was in the briefcase. Colder than Cold War, enemies without uniforms. So I feel like,
That's so good, dude. That is so damn good. It
and I
really
think
is.
that's what's great about Picture Short, especially on this album, is where less is more. Don't tell me all the
Yeah,
information. Just give me a little bit of pieces to where I can paint somewhat a picture,
absolutely.
but I will. Your mind completes it yourself.
Wow, man. I
Yeah,
have a
this.
newfound appreciation for fucking these lit for this writer, man. It's just absolutely short and to the point, but damn, just heavy impact. I love it.
Oh yeah, and so the Diplomat is the fifth song on the album. However, it takes 4 minutes to get to it because, like I said, bringing back that Terrifier vibe to where the first song is, I think, only equals out to 4 minutes. but it is a ripper. It starts off with Sis, I have on my notes.
Mhm.
Great opener. Again, with the lyrics, I'll pull it up. It's one of those things where it's like gives you a little bit where it's like you have a picture, but you don't know where something like he's not really saying anything messed up, but with how he says it, all the song and everything that's going on is like something about this I'm missing. He's not saying, and it's one of those things your mind tries to connect it, but he's not actually coming out and saying it. Um, just a second. Pig, sis lyrics.
All right, I'm back. Sorry, one more time. No, I'm
Oh
just
no, I
kidding.
gotta go back. I'll say it again.
Uh,
So sis, the opening track, sis, S-I-S,
so,
lyrics. My sister's dangerous. She climbs the barbed wire fence, changes clothes in the back seat, medical gown to red jeans. I can't tell she's off her meds because she's grinning, like a death's head, like a split wrist angel. The asylum lights up as we pull away. The doctors don't get it. My sister can't be kept in a cage.
yeah, that's crazy. It's just a crazy sister.
And then one song's lyrics, I never knew these are lyrics, but this is a song that I love because so this is the first time, and they do it twice in this album, that Catherine Katz is featured on a song. And I don't care if like a female vocalist gets featured in a song, but something about Catherine Katz got me so interested in like I love this dynamic of Catherine Katz's vocals and Pig Destroyer stuff, and particularly the song Eve. That's
Okay.
the third track. Um, and the lyrics very short song. I want to say it's less than a minute, maybe 40 seconds. Lyrics are I walked with Eve through the garden where the flowers grow out of control. She got bitten by the two-headed snake. She laughed as she bled gold. I told her I'd build her a slaughterhouse of her very own. Just one of those things. Like again, it paints a great, very vivid picture,
Hmm.
but doesn't give you a payout.
Yeah, that's cool. So
Yeah.
Catherine Katz, who's this? Where's she from?
So Catherine Katz is the so one thing I should probably explain. So Scott Hole, he has a lot of other bands. One of his other big bands that he's still in, it was Agoraphobic Nosebleed. And at
Oh,
that time, Catherine Katz was the lead singer. So
oh,
she
okay.
is on Eve and also The Bug on this album, and is also on another song in the future album.
Okay,
Um,
I was getting Escuela Grime vibes, and I thought that,
really?
or is this like, is it heavy vocals or is it clean singing? Like,
Oh,
I thought that was this.
it's that almost like Friday. Yeah, yeah.
I feel like I don't want to sound
It's
like an
still
idiot.
pretty heavy, but it reminds me of either like The Girl in Serpent's Touch by Knocked Loose or Lucid Dream by
Yeah,
Acacia Strain.
yeah, this was the vocals that I'm thinking of. Yeah, I absolutely got Escuela Grime vibes, and it's almost like the screams are pretty much in the same style.
Yeah, I love something about Catherine Katz's vocals. I love within a Pig Destroyer setting. I think they should do more.
Oh, yeah, it fits great, dude.
Yeah, although I don't know if it is because I feel like there's a little bit of so I guess she like left go for like nosebleed because of like issues with the band. So I don't know if it will ever happen
Hmm.
again. Hopefully it does because I feel like they fit each other so well. But yeah, so Sis, Eve, Diplomat. Other great songs are Valley of the Geysers. With that, I feel like the riff is very Black Dahlia murderish when they're more punchy. That the very chuggy part intro. Baltimore Strangler, great sample. That's the ladies and gentlemen, I destroy homes. I tear families apart. And then that very dun 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 dun. Great song. And then
Heck
for
yeah.
me, I've been listening to this song a lot. I think I even sent it to you today. Great album closer. Permanent Funeral. Very Slayer-esque riffs. Uh longest song in the album. I want to say it's like 4 minutes long, so like a normal song length.
Okay.
Great album. I'm gonna give this one a 10. What's your opinions on this album?
Yeah, dude, I absolutely enjoyed this one. And I just it's crazy to look back. Like you definitely hear the grindcore elements and like the origins in this music even still, but they're definitely taking a different route, I'd say, than where they
Hmm.
started. Into the more complete songwritings. It just sounds like it's getting more complete, you know. I don't know. But loved it. I thought it was great. Um, the Diplomat still like the absolute highlight for me. Um, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna give this one a 9.5.
Okay. And yeah, this is one of those albums that I wish I know they're forever experimenting. I wish this is the sound that they would just do the rest of their albums with. 'Cause I feel like this is the perfect Pig Destroyer sound for them. But I mean, it's their band; they can do whatever they want. So yeah. Up next is their most recent album, and that is Head Cage. This one had a lot of pushback from people, especially when they released the single "Army of Cops," because it was
Mm,
this is probably their most produced, crisp sounding album. And I remember when the album first came out, there was a lot of people. I feel like it was a very nothing against the genre, but I feel like it was thrown around as like a disparaging remark, where it's like this is a metalcore album, not a grindcore album. And that's kind of
mm,
like cast it away because I love this album when it came out, but now listening to all their albums back to back, their discography, I do hear a lot of the more metalcore stuff, so I do understand it a little bit more. It's still pretty good. Still a lot of good songs on Army of Cops.
hmm.
I feel like
Yeah,
is one of
dude,
the
that song,
best chants.
it is a fucking badass song, man. And it kind of, I felt like with this, they kind of lean back into the political grindcore stance. Like, I feel like with
Hmm.
grindcore, you get a lot of those politics in there, and they kind of went back to those roots with this one.
Hmm.
And so, um, but yeah, dude, that song, it's an absolute banger. And I did want to point out, there was a addition to this band in like this era, or I think
Hmm.
maybe before it even, maybe, but Adam Jarvis and I believe his brother joined on bass as well.
Okay, I didn't know it
But
was his
Adam
brother.
Jarvis, well, I mean, the last name's Jarvis. I assume they're brothers, but I don't
That
know.
would make sense.
Uh, so in 2011, right here, this is just on their Spotify bio. Harvey quit the band and was replaced by Adam Jarvis, who had formerly drummed for Misery Index. I and you know, honestly, I want to say that he's back in Misery Index. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm probably wrong about that one. Anyways, but Adam Jarvis, dude, that guy caught my attention early on from his stint with Misery Index. I believe he was on their album with that song Conquistadors, and that's like a huge era for Misery Index for me. Anyways, but here it says back to Pig Destroyer. Their sound began shifting somewhat as they passed through their first decade of existence, uh, flirting with other shit, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to read this whole thing, sorry. Um, but where's the edition for the other one? I thought they got another Jarvis guy.
John Jarvis.
Yeah, right? Where was his edition at?
I want to say he
I
was
thought it
the
was.
bassist. He was the first ever. I want to say
Oh,
bassist.
yeah. Yeah, sorry, right here. In 2013, things shifted monumentally in the band's sound with the addition of their first bass player, John Jarvis. So, yes, that would have been this album.
Hmm.
But I feel like it was highly recognizable in that song, Army of Cops. Like they
Hmm.
got a lot slower than that, especially stemming from that grindcore shit. So, but yeah, man, a cool sound. I don't know that this album has as many memorable moments and hits for me as
Yeah.
the previous stuff I've heard, but still really good though. I definitely still really enjoyed it.
And also, I feel like with this album, there's a lot. So there's it comes and goes. I feel like this album, there's a lot of like, especially with Army of Cops. I feel like it's the most on the nose. Like this is exactly what we're talking about. Song that they've ever written.
Hmm.
Like with I don't know. I might be wrong. Maybe it's just how I'm interpreting the lyrics with the whole. I guess I gotta pull it up, but like obviously there's the ending line, but Army of Cops lyrics. Uh, get on your knees. You know you want to. Um, we've become the nation of the victimization. Why can't we admit we're hypocrites? Nobody likes your direction, yet we don't turn around. Now, could it be that secretly we like being kept down? Then obviously the ending. Why would God create something so weak unless He wanted it to suffer? So I feel
Yeah.
like obviously. So again, like you said, it's kind of going back to the roots of the original meaning of the band title. Pig to Shore is supposed to be anti-police, anti uh very like political stuff, and that's kind of where this song I feel like is coming from. But I also
Hmm.
feel like it's also kind of typical Pig to Shore, very cynical. Is like, yeah, we can be as anti-cop as we want, like complain about cops, but we still desire them and want them. So what does that say about us? Kind of thing. So I
Hmm.
like that part of it, but I feel like this is the most, like I said, it's the most on the nose, like blunt lyrics that they've ever written, to where everything was a little bit like hinting at it, kind of thing. But
Right.
there still are some good songs because, like I said, the I feel like the biggest banger is obviously Army of Cops, but
Hmm.
there are still some good songs like Torture Fields. I feel like is pretty good. Has a not a typical Pig to Shore grindcore feel, but more of like a atmosphere, like and that's where I think the metalcore thing kind of works in. Whereas like this is a typical things that Pig to Shore does, but I think it works great. I feel like another highlight is Terminal Itch, very short song. And that's with that giant build up, that dun, 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 dun. And then all of a sudden the drop, and they just like part,
Yeah.
like it hits me.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
the most Pig Destroyer song on here, though, I feel like is House of Snakes, the closer. It's probably the longest, but it's one of those ones like, all right, this is going back to that the whole, like, I'm going to give you a lot of detail, get you really invested, but I'm not going to fully complete the story. And that is the where it starts off with like, no, not House of Wolves, House of Snakes. Come on.
The name's Detective Chase. I'm working a cold case. The clues have led me to this empty house near White's Ferry. I can't tell you what's wrong. All I know is something ain't right. Six murders spanning 60 years, all converging here. All converging here. The name's Detective Chase. I'm working a cold case. It repeats. The front door opens of its own accord. I feel threatened. I draw my weapon. They're coiled on the chairs. They're crawling down the stairs, squirming everywhere. The snakes are black, red diamonds on their back. A single serpent fills the basement. It speaks to me. It knows my name. The snakes are black, red diamonds on their backs. A single serpent fills the basement. It speaks to me. It knows my name. Detective Chase, intruder of the house of snakes. Intruder, 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 intruder.
Yeah, it's one of those things like, so
Man,
what
that's cool.
happens?
Yeah.
So there's apparently a giant snake that is telepathically saying intruder. And that's what I like. It's all those super detailed stuff at the
Hmm.
beginning, but then all of a sudden it like ends ambiguously. I feel like is the most Pig Destroyer ish thing about this album is the whole like, I'm gonna give you a lot of detail, but not give you a satisfying conclusion. But yeah, it's an album I really loved at first. It's kind of worn its in the context of all of their albums, I feel like it does kind of diminish a little bit. So I will probably give this probably an 8. I'll just give it a solid 8.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you on that one. I was going to give it an 8 as well.
Okay.
Uh, just not as memorable moments as we had before, in my personal opinion, but still really good. I still really enjoyed it, and I really do like those lyrics. Just reading them now, I like how they have the title of the last song right before this song, so it's not the last song, but
Yeah, that's
uh,
okay. That is something I forgot to mention about this album. That there's some parts I really don't like on this album.
yeah.
I love Picture Short, but there's some things on this album I really don't like. Like specifically, I feel like there's some parts of this album they don't take seriously. Like obviously
Mm,
the last song, like there's a song called The Last Song, not the last song on the album,
mm,
but in particular, there's this song. I gotta pull it up now, and you might know which one I'm talking about. It's the songs like there's no way they're serious about this because it feels like every song by Pig Short has been pretty serious, like in a messed up way. Then there's this song, and it is The Adventures of Jason and JR. Um, which the lyrics, let me pull up these lyrics real quick. I could pretty much sum it up. It's essentially, it's imagine if Seth Rogen wrote lyrics for a Pig to Shorter song. Um, Jason and I were on our way to see Iron Lung when some bug-eyed stranger held up the Constitution. We thought he was either insane or high, till a sniper on the rooftop killed the poor guy. Before we knew it, we were under attack by Dick Cheney in a Halliburton jetpack. We ran for our lives, straight into the clutches of the FBI. We were rescued by the actor Michael Ironside. He explained the whole cloak and dagger scheme. He called in the Swedish lesbian commando team. After the final battle, the Illuminati secret base, we had cow tongue tacos from a food truck in Chevy Chase.
uh, that's hilarious, I think.
After all these albums of talking about how great these lyrics, they write this, and I feel like
Yeah,
this had to be like a stoner moment
fuck
at
it.
some point.
Yeah, right. This is like clearly just a rhyme scheme, I think. Initial thoughts. They're just like, yeah, fuck it. Let's let it go by.
Let it ride.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is yeah.
interesting.
I did want to throw that out there. I love Pig Destroyer, but I'll point out when there's things I don't like, and that's that song. But yeah.
I think a great part of his vocals though is he's screaming hard enough. He's very hard to make out. So if you're not really inspecting his lyrics and stuff, it's kind of hard to tell for me, honestly, at moments what he's saying versus
Hmm.
other, vocalists that are definitely a lot more understandable. But
Yeah, yeah, he both JR and like the vocals, lyrics, and the guitars, in my opinion, are what draws me into this band. They're both great at what they do, and that's like I said with Bookburner, they do a lot of less is more, and I think that's what works best for them. And
yeah.
I think that even applies to them in real life because this is a band that doesn't tour a lot, and it's solely because they all have like full time jobs. To where this is more of like their we'll do it when we're ready, we'll tour when we want to kind of thing, and
Hmm.
that's why. So they're doing like a 3 date tour, and their closest date is Louisville, Kentucky, and I'm almost debating of going to it because it's the Red Chord. See you next Tuesday, and Pig to Shorter's
Wow.
headlining.
Damn. That's an old school lineup right there.
Hmm.
That's crazy. Is the vocalist for the Red Chord still a cop?
I think so, which would be weird touring with the band's like, oh yeah, that's a picture. Oh, why do they call that? Oh, because they're anti-cop apparently.
Anti-cop, yeah. Hmm. Yeah, that'd be a interesting tour. But
Yeah, I want to say even Scott Hull even has like an actual like super important job. I want to say like he's been in a lot of bands. He was in Anal Cunt for a little bit. He's
Oh,
still the
okay.
main member of Agoraphobic Nosebleed. Is the guitarist and apparently producer for Pig Destroyer. But apparently he works. I saw it earlier today. He's a government computer specialist.
She's working for the feds.
Fucking cat.
Whole whole time it's a fucking big cover up.
Yeah, I'm so I'm glad we got to do this because I love Pig Destroyer and I wanted to see your thoughts on obviously the evolution of their sound because yes, it starts off very rough, very grindcore, very dingy. As you can see, their sounds progress. They've incorporated new things. So I want to see your opinion. This
Hmm.
is I love this one. So yeah, Bookburner number one at 19.5, Phantom Limb at 18.5 at number two, and Head
Oh yeah.
Cage was 16 at number three.
Nice. What's those other two down there? I see those. Were those just EPs or some shit or
So Explosion in Ward 6 is like it's technically their demo. However, it's still very rough, and on
oh
Spotify,
okay.
it's only included as part of the 38 Counts of Battery compilation,
Hmm.
which is all like their underground stuff. Then there's the Painters of Dead Girls, which is all their like splits and EPs they did, all
Oh,
combined
okay.
into one. An Octagonal Stairway is an EP. It only has like one or two new songs, and then the rest are all like demos and live songs after Head Cage. Because I want to say Mount Skull's on there for his live version.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, man. I think that's the shortest discography to this day. It's pretty
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah. Although it felt refreshing for me anyway. I don't know. I feel like it's
Yeah,
also I want to say the entire discography of this band's only like 2.5 hours, and then we have the. So I felt like that gives us more time to go over this, but also go over the new songs playlists.
sure. I like how we like kind of balanced it too. Like even though it's a shorter discography, we really deep dived on this one. Got
Hmm.
into the lyrics and shit, and that was pretty fun. That was cool.
Yeah.
But
So you're up next for choosing. Who would you like us to do next time?
man, you know what? Based off of this conversation tonight, I had some ideas. So I think I'm gonna throw a string of bands out there for you.
Okay.
First idea was because we brought them up in conversation and they just kind of stuck, and it's going to be kind of a side route. Like it's not our typical lane, but I know me and you are both big fans. So, first nominee, Periphery.
Okay.
Um, Second nominee, because they are also originators of, not originators, but or well, yeah, I mean they are, but Grindcore, um, Cattle Decap.
Ooh.
Yeah. Or I had a third one, but I think I'm kind of forgetting it. Yeah, I forgot it. Damn, what was it? I feel like
I'm
it was
surprised you
just
didn't
one
want to
that
do Mayhem or King 810.
yeah, no, I haven't. Maybe King 810 I thought about, but I feel like their discog is a little too short right now. I feel like it would, I mean, I guess we could get into the lyrics with that one too, but um, I mean, well, I mean, shit, I don't know. I guess they're up to 5 albums or something, no? Um,
Um,
I feel like I had another one on the tip of my tongue, but it was before I thought about it before tonight. Um, Shit, what was it, man? It's gonna bug the hell out of me. I don't know. You got any recommendations or ideas of interest?
hmm, I don't know. I think I can probably stick with one of. Let's do. I don't know. I could probably do Periphery or Cattle Decap. Um, so here's a question: with Periphery, are we going to count Juggernaut Alpha and Omega as one full album, or are we going to count it as separate albums?
Hmm. I'd say we go separate.
Okay.
So I think I have a favorite out of the two.
Is it Alpha?
I don't know. I don't
That's
know
the thing.
because
I
I
feel
think
like they work best with in tandem.
I mean they kind of do. I mean, but because Omega has the bad thing on it, right? That track.
I think so. Now I
Man,
gotta
they
look
both
at it
got really good tracks. Yeah,
because one
that
of them
would be
had
good.
also had 22 faces.
Oh yeah, that is another good track. Damn. Um, son of a bitch, it's gonna drive me nuts. I had another band idea that I thought would have been a great one. Um, Crap. I don't know, man.
Oh, poop.
I don't know. I don't know. I think I've done
Um,
lost it.
I
I
think
think we
I'll
got some good
go.
nominees.
So since we kind of had a break with the band that only has 5 albums, I feel like I'm good to go back to a band that has a lot. So I feel like I'm good to go with Cattle Decap.
Oh, okay. So two grindcore originator bands in a row.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay. I'm
And
totally cool with that.
because I feel like I've done the discography run for Cattle Decap, so I'm familiar
Yeah,
with their discography as opposed to like when we did Abort is like I've never listened to some of these albums. Uh,
same here. I think I'm
but
more
with Cal,
fluent in their history than I was aborted for sure. So, yeah.
like even like their debut Human Jerky, I at least know what it sounds like, so I know what to expect
Uh-huh.
when I listen to it again.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a turning point. Their discography is like, okay, this is where I paid attention. This is where I my sweet spot is with them. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think I'll go with Cal Decap. Um,
Okay.
although yeah, then until next time, check us out on TikTok, YouTube, Spotify,
Yeah, all the goodies.
YouTube. You know where to find us. You know where to
Oh
find
yeah.
our drunk selves. You know,
Yep.
checking out, listening to music, talking about fatherhood stuff. You know, speaking incoherently. Until next
Third
time.
world countries,
Yeah.
first world.
Check out Death Metal Daddies.
Check it.
Till next time.
Till next time.